Good evening, everybody. Sorry about that. We have we're not going to be streaming to Facebook tonight. Apparently, I know there's been some issues with people being able to stream to Facebook, and as soon as the stream was turned on, it was complaining about that. So, for those of you on Facebook and you're watching this on the rewind, get with the YouTube vibe, man, because that's where everybody's hanging out anyway. So welcome to the show, 189th episode of the Comic Art Live CAF update. It's a pleasure to be here again. We've got a fun show ahead of us. We've got Mr. Layton, we've got Higgs coming on. Of course, Chris Snorp will be here to do some picks with us later. I've got a few other things to talk about throughout the evening, and I'm even going to show off some of that Hitch large art that we talked about on Saturday when we did the Brian Hitch show, where we sold some of his artwork, and I didn't bring any of the really oversized stuff, but I had a lot of people that wanted to see what that actually looked like. So it's huge, and at some point later in the show, we'll take a look at that too. But to get things started, as we always do, we're going to be bringing on Mr. Layton and Joey, and we're going to talk about their week in Seoul. And they've actually had a very eventful week with several things going on, most of which I've not seen, and this will be my first viewing of it as well. So I hope everybody enjoys this little clip, and then we'll talk with the two of them after it's over.
So today is the Danny Kim signing, and you can see here we have lots of people. Danny has a big line here. Let's go over here, and there's.
But it smells good now.
So Joey, how's the signing going?
Pretty well.
Pretty well.
We got a pretty good turnout.
I'd say, yeah. So far, it's really good. And Danny's doing these remarks for free. I can't believe that. And there he is. I'm putting you on the show. And I'm telling him that you're a crazy man.
The dialogue is just constantly in the old one. And this one, Magneto, his speech and everything.
He's doing remarks on every single book he signs. He's doing it gratis. Insane. But I love him. He's a good guy. Hi guys, we're gonna eat you tonight. All right, guys, we're revisiting our favorite. What is this called in Korean? Okay, but as you can see, the tentacles are still moving. Everything's still kind of squirming around. Now, this is considered one of the most dangerous foods in the world to eat. I'll show you why. It's still moving, and it's sucking onto my lip.
It's fresh.
So you have to really chew it good, or it'll stick to your esophagus and choke you to death. But as you can see, look, it's still moving on my. Now I gotta tell you, as far as squirmy food goes, it's very good. It's not for my tongue. It's not for my tongue. Ah! Get that? Mm-hmm. Okay. So this is sea squirt. If you've ever seen them, they're really hideous looking. That's what I think we were looking at out there. It's not moving though, so it's not as much fun. All right. But that's sea squirt. All right. As you can see, it's quite raw. And here's Max. Come on, Max. No.
No.
Okay.
I like it.
I like it.
Oh yeah, it's really good.
Not as good as squirmy octopus, but it's pretty good. So Joey and I are sitting out here on the street. We're at one of the convenience stores, and my neighbor Ewan and her rock and roll boyfriend here, Vid, showed up. Just walking up, say hi.
Hi, guys.
They live right next door to me. Okay,
Oh.
they live right across the hall
Yeah.
from me,
Yes.
and she brings me food all the time.
Korean food.
Yes, and he is a terrific guitar player.
Yeah, but you never see him, right?
I see him on. I saw him on Instagram.
On Instagram.
Yeah, he's really good.
And Joey is walking around somewhere because our friend William is coming to meet us for dinner. But I thought I'd introduce you to my neighbors, you know? Yes. And I told them, hey, they'll be on the show this week. So there you go.
Yeah.
All right, so say hi to America. Very good. Hey guys, how you doing? We're here for another episode of Drink and Draw. I'm here with Joey because Impio is not here tonight, right?
Yeah, he's got an anniversary tonight. So
Yeah,
he chose his wife over us.
He chose love over us. Oh my God. What do you need to do? Anyway, but also we have a little issue because the bus strike was going on this
There
week
was a
too.
bus strike. They just ended it maybe an hour ago.
So we're not sure who's going to show up yet. It may be a smaller drink and draw tonight, but our theme is going to be time. Characters who are related to time. We got, like it could be the Flash, it could be Marty McFly, Back to the Future, Doctor Who, any kind of character like that. We're doing time related. Can you think of any other ones?
Our man.
Our Man, yeah, whatever. I'm doing Kang not beating a woman. So there you go. So anyway, on with the show. We'll see you guys a little later. All right, so we're here with Simone. Everybody knows Simone. Give him the eyeball, honey.
Yeah,
okay, there you go.
eyeball.
Everyone knows Simone. You're gonna love this because the reason we're here because it's after 8 o'clock. She showed up about 30 minutes ago. We start at 7. So actually, our very first drawing was by BMO, and this is of Simone being on time.
It's genius.
It's genius. It says Simone on time, and of course, there's no Simone on it, right? I kind of love that. But that's BMO too, right? And what is?
The character's name is Doraemon,
Yeah.
and it's just a robot from the future.
Okay. All right, and you're kicking butt with the Flash. Wow, that's looking great. That's looking awesome, brother. Thank you.
I remember making boys cry. That was really fun.
That's me. Oh, nice. We got a couple of guys here from Osan Base who came all the way here in terrible weather. Just spent some time with us. Thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. And here's this lady who people think for some reason is a man. I don't know why. And you got a Doctor Who thing going on. All right, great.
Hey, you're still with us, Tom. The thing didn't strangle you, or is it?
No, I can't. I have 4 more dangerous foods to go.
Disappointed.
Now, honest to God, everybody that's online here right now in the comment section, we couldn't see Bill's face. I would have paid money to see Bill's face when I ate the live octopus because I know how squeamy you are.
That was pretty wild.
It is an unusual experience. It tastes great, okay? But yeah, it is a dangerous. Yeah, it's definitely old boy, Marcus. Yeah, minus the
I don't
violence.
think I could do it.
A little less violent than the way he ate it, but
You're a little more adventurous than I am, Bob. I don't think I could
but that's the whole point. We're in the world as Bob Layton. Sometimes it's what the fuck is Bob Layton eating?
Exactly.
That's what we're doing until I get back on the road again. So there you go. But we wound up with this because of the bus strike, as Joey mentioned in the video. We didn't have a huge turnout last night because the strike ended, right, Joey, halfway through Drink and Draw.
Yeah. So it started that day, and then they'd come to an agreement by the evening. So, and they all went straight back to work. So,
yeah. By the time we got out of Drink and Draw last night, yeah, right. By the time we left, was it like 11? It was like the buses were running again. You know, so one thing about strikes around here, man, they happen fast, they end fast. You know,
Well, now most of the drink and draw participants take the bus, so
yeah, I was doing the fake cough because today we had the Peking surprise that happens here occasionally, and I was explaining to you in the green room that there's an air quality alert out today because, as you know, Peking is one of the most polluted cities on Earth, and when you get a southerly breeze, guess where all that goes? It goes right into Korea. That's one of the reasons why Koreans are not that fond of the Chinese. Because, so today we got to kind of wait for it to pass through, but we're getting China's pollution.
So it's a rough week for you guys.
Rough in some senses, yeah. You know, it's like just turn on the AC and you're fine, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Everybody's wearing masks again, right? To kind of.
Yeah. Marcus wants a squidgasm. I think we need squidgasm. I got to get Casper to do me with that thing wiggling in my mouth. It's a weird experience when you put something in your mouth and it tastes like somebody says it tastes you back. You know, it's like when it sticks to your lip or whatever, you know, you have to kind of pry it off. It's definitely an interesting experience. The sea squirt wasn't nearly as challenging, but it was a delicious meal. Joey was kind enough to take Danny and MPO and myself and our representative Maxine out to dinner afterwards. So we decided to have a little treat just for you, Bill. We decided
I do appreciate that. So did the signing and sketching and the remarking go well for Danny at the show at the
pretty well
shop that day?
Yeah. He claimed not to be too tired. I tried to tell him, like, just do one remark per person because he likes to remark books. It's like, do one per person and then the rest of them just sign them. He's like, no, I could do all of them. So someone would come get one done, and I've got one here. So, so someone would get one done, and then they would go back and buy like 5 more and then get back in line. It was like, what?
Well, not
like
that you minded that. But at the end of the night, after we ate dinner, we had to take him back up and give him coffee just so he could drive home. Yeah, it's like I keep trying to tell him, having done, I'm next year is my 50th year in the business. You can't work like that for free. It will kill you. Yeah.
Tell me he needs a good agent, right?
Well, yeah, I've been trying to pressure him to get on CAF and start offering some of his pages for sale too, because the guy he's an amazing artist. And obviously not afraid of hard work, but
he forgot to bring his pages too.
Giving those beautiful drawings away for free is crazy to me. It's like, how many do you think he did, Joey? Probably 50,
with the foil covers, he stopped doing remarks on those because the ink was beating up on him. And he couldn't find on them, so he just started signing them. And so he just signed the foil ones, and then he would remark all the other ones. But I think he did at least 60 remarks. Yeah. And that's just on the books, because then one guy came in that had some
beautiful, all of them are gorgeous
from Soul Comics Week, and because we gave away some posters of his art. And the one guy came in with just like 4 posters and had him sign and remark those, and like left. So then Danny was like, hey, do you have my posters? I was like, yeah, I got some of your posters still. So I had them already set up next to the table, and I put those out. So then whoever was coming with books, he was giving them a free poster too, which he was also remarking. So he probably got over 80 remarks that he did.
Well, he'll do that for a few years, and he'll get very tired of it, I think.
Joey and I were talking, Will, we need to get Danny on CAF. We need to get him on the site. And so he can start displaying his art and offering it out, because I told it, they have no idea over here. Okay. And that's one of the reasons I'm being the ambassador of American comics here in Korea. I'm telling these guys, because so many of them, that have no idea that there are people that would actually be interested in their work, especially since he's doing a regular series for Marvel, and Danny's a phenomenal talent. He doesn't need to sit there and give his stuff away. At least he should be selling his pages or selling commissions because I mean that's what I do, right? We could, I do it here from Korea. Joey,
CAF, and there were some of the submissions on there.
Yeah,
but there weren't any pages. But I mean, he's done.
You mean people have posted the CAF already?
Yeah.
Well, get it. Hey, you know my email address, Bob. Just tell him to email me, and I can give him some pointers to get him started.
Yeah, we'll do that. Yeah. So Steve's asking, any idea when the movie starts? I don't want to talk about the movie today because it's. I spent the entire first half of the week arguing about with the director. We're still casting. It's been a big issue because he's a first time director. Well, I will get into it in another episode because my disdain for actors will come out here, and I don't want that to happen right now. But as you know, I'm not a fan of actors as human beings, so I don't really want to get into it right now. Let's just say some really, really interesting people have turned us down for really stupid reasons. You're going to get
the right actor. And actors at some point, Bob. You know that.
Yeah, I mean, I think we're on the right track, but it took like 3 days of my life here to kind of get the movie back on track. Because I'm perfectly fine with casting some unknowns as long as they are not a piece of wood in front of the camera. But damn, man, I mean, this process has gone on way too long. And I reminded Marcus that his contract expires in June, so he's got to get a production going, or else he loses the rights. So, there's that.
I think he's going to find somebody very, very soon then.
Yeah, I think we're on the right track. I think he's got to quit shooting so high and just look for talent. Joey has so Marcus is
man right there.
Joey, you want to be in the movie, man?
I don't know. You could look. I was looking through some comic art fan stuff, and I saw some of Bill's performances. So, look for that.
I play a mean Shaggy and Thor.
Yeah, I saw you do that.
No shit. Hey, listen.
Is there a Shaggy in the film?
I've got some range. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, we've been turning people on to the Comic Art Fans live show. Okay. I meant to ask you because today is 189, right? Mm-hmm. So, do we have plans for 200? Like something special?
I haven't really given it a whole lot of thought. I should.
Guys. Okay. Everybody on the chat here, you got ideas for the 200th episode? Let's send them to Bill.
I mean, we're almost at our
Billigan.
Billigan. Well, that was
Anthony says Billigan.
I've done
Billigan's
several skits with Billigan. If you haven't seen anything till you saw Billigan's Island. There's a 5 minutes.
Are you the little buddy?
How did you know? There's a hat around here somewhere. I don't know. But yes, no, I've done many things to make people amused. But Billigan was the first one, and it was all because one of the dealers kept calling me his little buddy, and so we just rolled with it, and we did a whole episode on it.
Yeah, Jerry, you hold your breath waiting for that one, baby.
But we should have a giveaway of some kind at episode 200 at the very least.
I used to be like that. These Koreans are so incredibly polite, but the trouble is that catches up to you after a while. You can't work like that. What happens is you start to like, I don't want to do this. Like, oh my God, I don't want to do another signing because it's too exhausting. So it wears on him. I'd rather, him have a long and happy career. And sometimes it's like going home with a pocket full of money. Not, he doesn't have to charge a lot, but as Dick Giordano used to tell me, the man who works for free is a slave. And I'm nobody's slave. And the point of it is, it's like people are perfect. I mean, the quality of what he gives them is fantastic. For remarks, I mean, they're really con sketches. They're not remarks. When you say, Joey,
yeah, they're nice. Well, his teacher was Jungi Kim, so and this is one of the less elaborate ones. I think this was later in the day when he was kind of like, okay. Yeah. Well, I guess that's him phoning it in. But but the ones at the start of the day were really detailed. But I mean, at the start of the day too, the crowd kind of rolled in kind of slowly. I'm actually surprised because we had CGC Signature Series going, and I'm surprised more people didn't CGC those because I think we got like 20 or something like that CGC'd, and I was like, I was expecting it wasn't even 20. It was, I think it might have been 20, including the ones I sent in. So,
the point is, you're in the educational phase. I mean, you're the first CGC representative in Korea, so I mean, people don't even know what it is.
In East Asia. So. I think there's one other guy in the Philippines, and there's other stuff around like that go to there, but like based in Asia as a facilitator.
Anyone heard from Jiggy? Because he's never responded to me.
He still hasn't responded even after I emailed you both.
Yeah.
We had a couple.
So he was on the show last Saturday.
So what we're saying is he's not so jiggy with it. Right?
I just wrote Ziggy down. All right, I'll get on him again.
All right, Ziggy, Jiggy, whatever.
He's a busy guy, but
Joey, you want to see? Okay, we only had a few entries, but we had some nice ones last night. You want to see?
Some nice ones. You've already seen this one.
Yeah, that one.
Yes, the Simone
into that one.
Simone being Simone in time.
But we had the father-son duo, and the dad is the elementary school art teacher on the Air Force Base.
Yeah, the two guys from Osan came last night, all the way. That's a hell of a drive too. And they
it's like spring break now, so they were in town and they stayed on they stayed in the Seoul base. There's a hotel and they were staying there. But I think they came in because they wanted to come to Drink and Draw finally because he went to the Osan the USO event. And since then, he'd been wanting to come in.
Sharon, who came in from Washington, D.C., was it? She was here from Washington, D.C.
Oh, Sharon? I got Sharon's here. She came in to play this game called Blood on the Clock Tower. I was asked if anyone plays it, and then stayed to draw, and then drew a bloody clock tower.
Yeah. Okay. Out of context, that looks like she's disturbed. I know, right?
It was a really fun game. Then we got the Flash.
Good one.
Yeah.
Did a good Flash. This is the winner of the Bob Layton Iron Man sketch contest last year.
He's improving though every week. It's nice to see that these guys are getting better as they come and they work with other people and with me. Of course, you saw that already. King not beating his girlfriend.
You saw the doctor not vaporizing his friends.
Or beating a woman either.
And the finished Doctor Who. Her blue marker dried up while she was coloring it.
That was really funny because the comment I made in the video, she was telling us she teaches grade school art, and one of her kids asked her if she was a man because she has short hair. And not a lot of Koreans wear short hair. Not a lot of Korean women wear short hair. So he was gender confused by her, even though she's obviously female.
The last one is Bemo's.
Beerbohm. Douglas Adams. Great time and space.
Some really nice, dolphins and whales in there too. So.
And Joey and I realized, being Douglas Adams fans ourselves, that we both travel with towels as a result of having read Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Arthur Dent was right, Because
he was yours.
Yeah, that's my king not beating a woman. Yes. This was this week's. I didn't get a lot done because Joey and I had we had meetings and so forth and so on. I had the whole Helix thing, so I did this. And the reason I did this, Bill, is if you ever remember the original, it was colored so badly. It was really literally the saturation. The colored saturation was so bad that you couldn't tell that it was Dr. Doom that was reflected in the eyes. The mask was totally obscured by the dark color saturation. So it always bothered me. So I decided to do one where you could actually see everything. So that's 11 by 17 full color. But yeah,
There's the original.
You can't even see that that's Dr. Doom. That's just somebody's evil eye, right?
Yeah.
You know, it was just colored so poorly. So I wanted to I'm kind of visiting some of the stuff that I kind of wanted to changed. So there you go. Your
homage is colored much better.
Yeah, Spencer wanted this. This was from one of Spencer's clients. He said, you know, and I know that Alex Ross did one for that lenticular cover, you know, that was my 126 and the Eternus cap. But I really wanted to do something that was more, you know, Jack Kirby oriented and kind of stuff. And he's got, I guess, a client who really loves this cover, and but wanted Captain America. So I thought this one came out fairly decent. I was pleased with it. I channeled my inner Kirby, you know. So there you go. What is that?
I gotta order. I gotta order the website.
It may have been. Well, very nice. Another good one. Spencer's always lining up with some interesting.
Yeah, he gives me some challenges, but like you said, because we had a lot of meetings, and this week's going to be busy too, because Joey and I have a meeting about Soul Comics Week this Sunday. You know, we're meeting with COCA, which is short for Cultural Something or Other.
Korean Cultural Contents Agency.
Yeah, which basically the Ministry of Entertainment basically is what it is.
It's a subset of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism.
So we have because I have to teach Simone on Saturday, and then we have the meeting on Sunday. So I won't even get back to the drawing board till Monday probably. It's going to be another slow week for me as far as the commissions next week or whatever. But let's talk about what's really on my mind right now.
What is it? What's
I didn't hear back from Nikki. I want to do Space Ghost. Where's Nikki? And all I need for him is to do this. Okay.
Right. I don't know. That's a good question.
Is he really going to turn down me doing Space Ghost? Really? Is he going to do that?
I don't know. Well, it's another.
No, they tend to do a very limited number of covers for books at Dynamite. So,
but still,
because I did the look.
I owe him an email
for almost no money. I did all the Solar and Magnus stuff for him that he asked me to do. Okay, when they came out with all that stuff.
But he's not here right now. I don't know why. He's usually.
Yeah, I know, but anyway, somebody out there tell Nikki he's got to give me a thumbs up on this. I don't care about the money because I'm going to sell the original to one of you guys. Watching the show.
Just want the job. Exactly.
But here's the reason is one. Now, and Joey and I were talking because we were talking about old cartoons and stuff. I kind of grew up with Space Ghost, and the fact that he was an Alex Toth designed character, and I loved Alex Toth's designs work for Hanna-Barbera, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, being a big Alex Toth fan too, is I'm pretty excited about the idea of just revisiting that because I've never done Space Ghost. I think it would be a blast. Just texted Nick and told him to turn this. Because tell him to climb onto the show because I want to yell at him right here. I mean, I'm offering to do a cover for him, and he doesn't.
I wrote it down. I have to email him about something anyway, so I'll yell at him for you too, and we'll make sure that something.
Yeah, because I brought it up last week. I figured somebody would say something. It's like if they don't want me to do, that's fine, but. It's like I'll do one just for fun, and then he'll try to buy it from me later.
Mm-hmm. As he does.
Yeah,
just like buying back his stuff.
Do it the hard way,
Mm-hmm.
But hey, what the hell? So it's the CAF covers and commissions. I don't do commissions of people who are still alive and still working. I usually limit it to doing. To answer that question, I usually wait until somebody is deceased or in order to do a recreation of their work or let's face it, if they're still alive and kicking, I'm not taking money out of their mouths, okay?
Sure.
Or John Byrne, because John Byrne's just too much of a pain in the ass to deal with. So I don't do any John Byrne stuff. Unless it was a cover that I inked. If I had something to actually do with it.
but otherwise I stay away from John Byrne commissions. Okay.
I understand. I do understand that. Okay. Well, I'll let you know what Nick says. I will email him, and we'll
okay. And Jiggy too. I mean, we're still waiting for that because Joey and I, we got our bags packed. We're ready to head to the Philippines, man.
All right. I'm going to work it out. I promise. I promise.
Okay, because we're ready. We're ready to go, man. We are ready to go. But by the way, okay, I booked my flight. I will be in Japan for our. I don't know what episode that will be. I'll have to look. But in 6 weeks from now, we will be doing my episode in Japan.
All right. So you have that artist with you showing you around.
Yeah. No, I'll have Takeo Wada with me, and we will have a special episode from Tokyo. That is a done deal because my lawyers are painfully slow.
All right. Well, we're looking forward to that. I hate to tell you, but I got to move on. Got another segment.
No, this is the Tom Layton show, man. It's just me and Joey now have a couple songs we're going to do.
I'm going to give you guys your own show on the channel. You just need to pick a time that isn't one of my.
Well, Casper wanted to do that. He wanted to do WTF as like a regular thing, And I said, no, I think we should save it for an annual OAX thing, We can only afford one lawsuit a year. Bill, it's a pleasure. Cass, if you're out there, we love you, man. And Joey, I will see you Sunday at 2, right?
Yeah, Sunday at 2.
Okay, if not before. The weather's been nice, so Joey and I have been able to sit and watch drunks on the corner at the 7-Eleven.
As long as you're not the drunks on the corner, then all is well.
No, because we,
that's
on the weekends.
Yeah.
On the weekends, they drink like fish here, right? Jiggy, okay, you're here. Jiggy, what's happening, man? Are we coming to the Philippines or not?
Jiggy, you're supposed to email Bob about that show we talked about. Remember?
Yeah, because Joey and our bags are packed, man. We're ready to go.
Yep.
So let us know, man.
Jiggy, get it. Make sure you email Tom Layton. That's
my bag 7 months
very
early.
soon.
All right,
guys.
Hey, listen, what's on the show today, Bill?
I've got Hakes in the green room right now. I've got a couple. Got some art to show off. I've got a package to open. I've got some other news, and then my regular update. So plenty of stuff to talk about.
We'll be watching. Listen, have a great show, everybody. Thanks for watching, Joey. I'll see you on Sunday, brother. If not before.
All right, guys. See you next week. All right. Always fun. Now Jiggy can. Oh, he's got to talk to the boss. Well, you do that, Jiggy, and then get back to Bob as quickly as you can. We'll see Nick Barucci and then get that other question answered. If he doesn't show up tonight, I'll just email him. But next segment, I've got we're doing a little bit of a Hakes recap. It's not a big one. It's we're going to cover a few things, and we're also going to show off one special item that they've got coming up in their upcoming auction. So let me bring in Alex and Kelly. Welcome to the show, gentlemen.
What's going on there, buddy?
Man, it's so weird seeing you guys at home. It's odd, but I like it. It's different.
Yeah.
We both retired, so we're not at the office anymore. We're done.
Yeah, Todd's in charge. So
nice. So is that a life preserver in the back behind you, Alex? What is that?
Yeah, Alex Cooper.
Alex. Oh, okay, got it. Yep.
Yeah, a promo he did for Muscle of Love.
Very cool.
Alex lives on a houseboat, so.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you got a lot of skulls on your shirt. What's that?
There's an inflatable shark. That's for the band Great White. Aside from my records and stuff, I collect promo items, so I combine those two promo items.
George Hodge, musician and probably music collector in his own right, loves your room. So he would love to hang out. It's not the life preserver is not from the USS Minnow. So guys, you had an auction end just recently, and so how did all that go? I know you sent me a list of some things, but maybe before we look at those, how was the overall auction from the art to the memorabilia?
Excellent, everything. I mean, if people following us know what we do, it's everything at once, right? So it's political, it's sports, it's action figures, it's concert posters, it's comic books, it's original art. We always have a little bit of everything in each catalog, each auction. And it was a great success. We had actually more bidders than last auction. I was hoping to exceed 2 million. I was really hoping for a 2.5. We hit 2.5 million. So all in all, I don't know. Ask Kelly, was it worth all the blood, sweat, and tears we went through? Because this one was painful.
The best part was going to Florida, wasn't it? And showing off what we had.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Was
yeah, that was also the part that really threw us off schedule. Let's not forget that.
Yeah, I mean, I was on the road for 8 days for that trip, I think.
It was worth it though, right?
It was absolutely worth it, 100%.
Okay.
Yeah. I think we gained some new clients. We met people that we've known forever and we never met before at your show, and definitely some new bidders came out of that. So anyway, and that was just one of the many trips and experiences and clients and consigners that we had for this auction. A lot of unique things in every section, including you'll see there's some record-breaking things you'll see that we have coming up that we sold. So yeah.
Well, cool. We I saw that, Alex. I saw number one Marvel fans comment. Yeah, that I saw that thread as well. You held your ground and let that gentleman.
So let me speak on that. Yeah. I don't. First of all, I'm not Mr. Social Media, believe it or not. So when you see posts on Hakes, anything Hakes, that's coming from my crew. I'm not that guy, but I have a Facebook page because I have to have a page for Hakes, right? Mm-hmm. And I try to monitor that and like things and share things and whatever the kids are doing these days, right? And a lot of times we'll have some dumb comments and Hakes sucks or this is stupid or that. Okay, whatever, I'll let it go. When you attack Hakes as a business and it's unfounded and it's libelous, then I'm going to jump in, okay? And that's what this guy did. And yes, I did it in a very business-like manner. There were things in my head I was going to say. I didn't. I typed different things out, and I kept it above board and just confronted him in a matter-of-fact way and said, show me the proof of what you're saying. And time and again, he didn't. And if you go to that person's Facebook page, you can see what kind of a person it is. And I think the best thing, though, that came out of this was I won't say outpouring, but we had plenty of people jump in, customers who were bidders or who were consigners, and who backed us up and had very good things to say about us. And that made me happy. And everything they said was true versus what he said. So yes, sometimes we have to get involved in nonsense like this. But again, when you're attacking us as a business, I don't take that lightly. We've been around longer than anybody, 57 years doing auctions, and I've been here 39 years, and we're legit.
Yeah. Oh no, I know. I mean, and you're right. You could have just kept your mouth shut because at the end of the day, so many of the clients were in there, letting the guy have it as well, politely, but at the end of the day, that it was all unfounded. Sounded like sour grapes for somebody who probably wanted to pick up something on the cheap or whatnot and decided to, blanketly just. I mean, he was throwing you down. He was throwing the whole market, out there today, as if everyone, from for every platform has fraud running around in it. I mean, the guy was literally, had a tinfoil hat on. So,
he probably has dirt on CAF too, just so you know.
He probably does.
Unwarranted dirt, but yeah.
But that's okay. But no, you handled it very well, Alex. So, that was. But it happens, I mean, it is what it is. Especially when you're doing well, and there's always going to be somebody that is unhappy about that and has to kind of throw a little bit of shade your way. But no, you handled it perfectly, and the people who support Hicks clearly were rallied around you and all of that, and did enough of the countering from what that guy was saying. So all is good. But why don't we look at some of the results then? I know we've got I don't have a lot, but we have a few things here to look at. So let's see. Let me get the screen resized a little bit. All right. So what do we have? The first up was that Nightmare on Elm Street piece that you had with you at OAX. What was the final price on that? $15,340. Yeah.
So I just what we'll do tonight are 10 of the art highlights and then 2 non-art pieces that we had talked about. I wanted to keep it brief. I appreciate you fitting this on this show the way you did. So this was, Kelly even questioned, should we show this because it was below estimate? And I said, absolutely. An estimate is just that. We have plenty of things that go over estimate. When we got this originally, it was a 5,000 opening, and it was going to be 10 to 20,000. And the more that we looked at it, myself included, just the more I liked it and I was impressed with it. And so that swayed our decision to go 20 to 35,000. That obviously was ambitious. The bidders spoke. It sold for 15,000, still a solid price. And most importantly, the consignor was happy with that price. So we have to be then as well.
This is one of the few opportunities where the consignor was actually the original artist too. And the fact that the original artist being the consignor was happy. And as far as pieces of original art we've ever had, this was the hardest to decide the estimate, I think. One of the most difficult pieces we've ever had. There was nothing to compare it to besides, a couple $1,000 movie poster art to $500,000. And somewhere in between was this. And, that's why I still think it was a great price.
Yeah. Well, when you have no comps, it's pretty difficult to set a value.
100%. And even when you do, it's hard, right? Because even if you have page 3 from a certain issue and you look at page 4 that sold, and even if they have similar content, one of the two could speak to any bidder differently. And so we never really know. So yes, it's not like comics and cards and things that we can have apples to apples comparisons of multiple things, right? We could have 10 of the same comic and 9.6 that sell in 6 months. That's pretty easy to put a range on. Art is one of those tricky things, and so we kind of use our best judgment. But again, whatever happens, happens. Anybody that's out there as a bidder, and I'm a bidder on art myself, I don't really pay too much attention to an estimate. I pay attention to how much do I really like that piece, and how much do I want in my collection. So
sure,
yeah.
And for those that are jumping in with the Wolverine comments, which is what we got to start it. Yeah, if anybody doesn't know, it looks like Wolverine. This was the very first art done for Nightmare on Elm Street. Duncan Eagleson, the artist, was using a script. There were no photos. There were no model sheets. So, and that's the black and white that just flashed by there. That was where it was used in trade publications before the film came out. So in his mind, there were 3 blades. So that's, one of the reasons we thought it was so interesting is that this really is the first ever Freddy Krueger appearance, albeit 1 blade less.
But very interesting nonetheless. So Dick Giordano, Bob Layton just mentioned Mr. Giordano a few minutes ago. This is that Batman 315 cover that went for just over $14,000. So that's over your estimate. And and again, anything that's one of a kind is always going to be difficult. That's your problem. It's not like comic books and trading cards and things that you've got, again, lots of comps to go with it. So on this piece, it exceeded your expectations pretty measurably. So at 14,278, nice result for that one.
Yeah, and it really, covers can be the most difficult, even if you have comps, because of the uniqueness of the cover versus how many interior pages there could be. So, and we try to be conservative too. I don't want to have a ton of estimates and then we don't hit them. That doesn't make sense. It's not a good look. So we're conservative, and when we go over estimate, then all the better.
Is this the piece that Bob was talking about at the show? I forget.
Bob was talking about a lot of pieces at the show. I can't remember.
He does talk about a lot. Where he influenced the artist and the inker. I was trying to remember which.
No,
where he influenced her. He was he basically took credit for the entire piece. Is what I'm.
No, that was the other one. That was the one with the dinosaur on it.
Yeah. Yes, right. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. He loved to see that. He loved to talk about it. Big surprise. Sorry, Bob. Good to see you.
He's not in the green room anymore, but he's probably watching at home.
He's probably watching. Yeah.
Hey, we loved having you stop by the booth, hung out. It was fun.
Oh yeah, it was a good movie, Bob. Absolutely.
Bob is he's a statesman for the hobby. He likes to get around.
Absolutely.
Especially if you can look at some of his old art. Or art that he's influenced, right?
There you go. Right.
Yeah.
Let's see here. So then this was the Gary Frank Secret Origin Superman 6 book. Cover for that one. Let's see, it went for 13 just over 13. So again, exceeding your estimates on that one.
Yeah, so this was another one. There's, not a lot of his covers out there. The last one that we had, we did the same thing, 5 to 10. That was a Batman cover, and it just went over 10. And so just going over didn't warn us 10 to 20. As the next estimate, we stuck with the 5 to 10, and it went over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love Gary. Always will.
Yeah.
And let's see here. Oh, then this was that Seeger Popeye strip. This was that early one, which is
very early, very important with the great
sea. Almost $13,000. That's fantastic.
I would that has to be our record for any Popeye original art that we've ever had, and one of the top pieces ever to sell. Great piece. Just stand out, Seeger. Yeah.
Wow. No, I can't say that I've done a lot of research on early, Popeye artwork, but I think that's a pretty good price. And the last panel with the sea hag is just awesome.
Yeah, it is.
What was the estimate was 5 to 10 on that one too? So
yeah. So whenever the estimate. So happy consigner, happy bidder. We hope both sides.
Yeah,
exactly. Let's see, X-Men Annual 2000. We got a group of 20 pages by Scott Eaton. So this one definitely exceeded your results or your expectations again. 5,000.
Yeah, I was on the fence about breaking this up or leaving it together, but I think it was better. If I don't have to break a lot up or break a book up or a near complete book or whatever this is, I'd rather keep it together because it's been kept together this long, and I think it was the right decision to keep this as one grouping as opposed to breaking it up.
Yeah, because again, our estimate was conservative, but it went well over that, and we toyed with that as well. And Todd was involved in that process. But yeah, we were certainly surprised by. But you're also getting an instant collection, even if you just got this one lot. So it was a nice group of art.
Yeah, definitely. So one for $8,437 for the lot. How many pages was it total?
20.
20 pages.
Right? Yes, right? 20? I think it's in the title. You scroll up a little bit more.
Oh, sorry. Group of 20.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
My bad. Sorry, I was trying to read through here. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean, selling stuff in lots it can be sometimes challenging, but I think you did pretty well with that one.
We've sold complete books together. We've sold complete books as individual pages. It just depends on the situation and the grouping that it is.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think that this worked out well for everyone. I heard from the consigner on who consigned this and some other pages of art. He was very, very pleased, very happy with the results.
Good.
Yeah.
All right. So we have that's right. The painted piece, the puzzle artwork. And what was one for $8,437? So much higher than your max $2,000 estimate.
And this was another one that's really tough because, as we talked about on our preview show for the auction, there's not a lot of 66 Batman merchandise art out there. And some of it that is first of all, nowhere near as nice as this. And some puzzle art is really just color overlays and then printed lines. So this is fully realized art. We had this and another piece that sold just a little bit below this, but we had two pieces of this puzzle art that both brought very strong prices because of the rarity.
Mm-hmm. I believe this is a record for any Whitman art. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it is.
It's real close. I mean, maybe a full golden book or something like that, but a single piece most likely.
Yeah, non-book art for sure.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I remember I enjoyed this one when I saw it the first time. So congrats to the consigner on that. Next up, a Mad Foldin. We didn't by Al Jaffe. We touched on this one a little bit
I don't remember if we did or not actually during the.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
Yeah.
This isn't one that we talked about. I don't think so. This was went for 8,300, and we got just over estimate of 5,000 at the high end.
Yeah, this I did realize is a record for any of the fold-in arts to ever sell. Actually, any of Jaffe's pages had never hit this price previously that I could find. This is you knew a lot more about this than I did, Alex. The fold-in, I didn't know much about.
That was me. That was Todd. This was all Todd. He was a big mega. I mean, I remember these as a kid.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just amazing how they could create this art, right? To have that folded image, then turn into the full piece, the text and everything. So it took a special mind to develop these.
Well, Jaffe definitely had that in spades. I mean, to be able to do these for as long as he did, they're just crazy. I mean, the amount of content that he was able to pull together with these fold-ins and keep them relevant and topical and, and political. I mean, they were always fun. You always turn the Mad magazine over just to see what it is. I'm sure many people had to buy them with the creases already in the back. Just by the way it was meant to be. Then Don Martin, everybody loves Don Martin arts. This is One Morning in Surgery was the title of the cartoon. This one went for 7,139 over the high end of 5,000 on the estimate. It's really nice.
Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, I think of all the mad artists, I definitely would like to own something by Don Martin. I mean, just always stood out. Just his characterizations, on the figures was just so crazy. Elongated faces, jaws like that. I mean, it's just hilarious. You laugh just without knowing the gag. They were fun to look at. Let's see here. What do we got next here? Well, this is a Detective Comics Unused cover for $481 by Armaro. $5,800 went on this one. So within the range that you had on the estimate for this one, a little bit on the low end. But where did we look at this one? I don't. Oh yeah, we did. Look at this one.
Yeah, I love this. Way better than the cover that ended up being on this issue. I thought it would go for more. Being unpublished obviously hurts it some, but I think it's a fantastic image.
I agree with Marcus there. Unused covers are hot.
It's true. There's plenty of them out there at the end of the day. Tom McDonald said somebody got a great deal on that apparel. That's true. They're not making any more of them. So when you guys do your your value estimations, high and low, is that something you do as a team, or is it
Yeah, usually it's some things are. I'd say very rarely is it one person's opinion.
And often it can be at least four, right?
Yeah.
You, myself, Todd, Sean.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody remembers Sean Rutan, he's been MIA for the last 6-7 years, I believe, but he's out there somewhere.
He's still employed somehow, right, by Hakes.
Yeah,
no, seriously, we just had a deal happen. In fact, the one piece that we're going to preview is from that. And I looked at it first. I made my opinions. I gave it to Todd to look at, and we were close. And then when we got the art, I gave it to Kelly to look at, and almost every one matched up. I think there was one piece that Kelly had a little higher than Todd and I think I had one piece that was a little bit lower than Todd had. But it's good to have that as a sounding board, all these different opinions to come to the conclusion that we do. And it's not just on art. We do that on many different things.
Sure. No, that makes sense. I figured it couldn't be one person's opinion all the time. It wouldn't work.
There is one person's opinion that matters in the end.
I was going to say that, but I figured I would let you say it.
Initially, I will entertain.
Okay.
He will listen. He'll hear you. Doesn't always mean he'll listen. Is that
What's that?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Moving right along. What is the next item we got here? This is the Deathlock #7 cover by Dennis Cowan, not Cohen as the man behind the Hero Initiative keeps calling him Cohen. It's Dennis Cowan. This one went for $5,400, just above the high end estimate for this piece. Sounds about right to me.
Yeah, I think so. I like this cover. I think it has a great style to it. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I like Dennis's work a lot. Very nicely done. I'm sure Marcus likes this one even more. Did ML get this one? Seems cheap. I don't know. I know Mikhail definitely loves Cowan Deathlock. He has a few pages by him, I think. Stellar Cowan cover. You got that right, Steve. It seems cheap, but fair, I'd say. Fair price for that. Yeah, so what do we got next? We got two other things to look at here. The item of contention. This was that Godzilla Go-Kart model kit that you had estimated at $10,000 to $20,000, went for $36,000. So we can talk about it one more time here.
Yeah. So, I mean, simply put, this is it's arguable. This and the companion King Kong, the two rarest Aurora models, bar none. And in our 57 years, and we have sold thousands and thousands of Aurora models, this is the first time we've ever had this in any condition, let alone unused and sort of sealed. And I say sort of sealed because it was opened at one point. In the 90s, there was a scandal where some models were being resealed. So the owner, when he bought this, wanted to open it and make sure that the parts were real. So unlike somebody on Facebook who thought the parts weren't real and was wrong, these are the original parts. This is unused, essentially, sealed minus that cut on it. But this was one that brought everybody out. Aurora collectors of all types, because this is the key piece. And I'm not going to say I'm stunned by the price. It certainly is a stand-up price, but when the next one comes up, who knows? And certainly in this condition.
Tom, you asked what was the last recorded sale for this. Let me get back to you. As far as an actually public recorded sale, I don't know if we know one. There isn't one. There's actually two Aurora model books, and it's so rare that they didn't even have an image for it in one of the books. The other book finally got one, so I'll have to get back to you on any private sales that this piece itself moved around privately, I think at least 3 or 4 times, right, Alex?
I think so. Yeah. In the last sales, I mean, you have to go back, and you got to be an old school collector if you remember a publication called Toy Shop. The last sale probably was in a Toy Shop magazine, or maybe another. There were a couple of the toy auctions in the 90s, 80s, and 90s that were doing models. Maybe one was sold then. I can't even say that. Some did trade hands privately. One thing you have to know about Aurora models is a lot of those were saved and ended up not being sold, and then stores were bought out decades later. So it was not unusual to walk into a toy show in the 80s and 90s and see stacks of sealed Aurora models, but not this one. This was just one that had such a low production, and those that were bought obviously were put together. That's what was meant to be done, except for just a few that are still out there. But it is not many, period.
Right.
I want the original art to that thing.
Yeah.
That would be something.
Yeah.
Godzilla on a go-kart, right? Oh, man. So let's see. This was that mock-up proof card.
Yeah, speaking of original art, this is Star Wars original art. For the front of this is very thin sheet of paper adhered to a different card back and made at Kenner when they were toying with the idea of what to make the new Return of the Jedi, well, at the time, Revenge of the Jedi card backs look like. I've seen a couple different examples of this. They're out there in collectors' hands, but this is unique. It is handmade, hand drawn, hand inked, and completely unique. So the first time we've ever had anything like this. We've had other proof cards, other Star Wars proof cards for Return of the Jedi, for Revenge of the Jedi, but they've all been printed. They got so close to the time of production, but this one is 100% unique, and it broke estimate, and at 22,000 is a solid price for this.
Well, there are a lot of Star Wars collectors out there, aren't there?
Yeah, a couple of them, yes.
So, well, congrats on that one too.
Yeah. Thank you.
And the auction overall. But before we sign off tonight, we've got a few messages. First, of course, is you guys are taking consignments for the next auction, and I know that when is the next auction? By the way, when does it start?
So we've got two things coming up. In May will be another one of our online auctions, and those are what we call our collector-friendly events. No catalog, online exclusive. Everything starts at $9.99, and it will be a mix of things as always. There'll be political items and sports cards, lots of toys, third-party graded comics. There will be a small art section. It's not going to be anything like our normal catalog or auction, but there will be some. So that goes online early May and ends mid-May. And then the next cataloged premiere event will be July, goes online early July, ends the week after San Diego Comic-Con. We will have plenty of things on display, one of which is coming up. But so for the May auction, that's sort of done. We're full. For the July, that's what we're looking for, consignment. So as I always say, any consigner, it's in their best interest to explore options. Hakes is certainly one of those options. You can give Kelly a call, myself, Sean. Again, in your best interest to see what the best deal is. Not only just the rate that you get, but what is the treatment? How is it promoted? Is it in the catalog? Is it going to compete against a bunch of other pieces, or is it going to be more of a curated section like we have? So all we do is urge you to reach out to us, have a conversation, and see what is the best fit for you and your art.
Absolutely.
And best email to reach out to at Hakes?
Well, we have a couple. One is comicart@hakes.com. And if you want to go right to me, it's mkelly@hakes.com. Hakes@hakes.com. It all finds its way to us. But the easiest one to remember is comicart@hakes.com. I would use that.
All right. Cool. So one of the items that are in the July auction, we're going to preview tonight, right? This is something you're going to be taking to San Diego as well. So anybody who's got the opportunity to go to San Diego is going to see this one too.
It's a world premiere just for you.
All right. And
seriously.
Yeah, should make a few Marvel fans happy, I think. The cover to MCP number 99 by Mr. Sam Keith. That's a doozy, as what we say here on the channel. That's about as good as it gets from MCP. Got a great Ghost Rider on there as for the main image in the exact style that Sam Keith made famous. So this is a beautiful piece.
Yeah, just arrived. What today's Thursday? It's been here for 2 days. So
yeah, picked up by Scott, who is our political and contra poster person, but he was on the road, he was in the area, and it just sort of worked out. This is coming directly from Terry Cavanaugh, who was editor and writer at Marvel Comics from 85 to 97. This is a stunning piece. I'm a big Sam Keith fan. Sam Keith cover art in general is highly coveted and does not come up a great deal. And this is one of those flip issues. So Wolverine was one cover, Ghost Rider was another cover, both by Sam Keith. And while I love his Wolverine, I especially love his Ghost Rider, and this piece is just great in that it is full figure Ghost Rider, front and center. There's no more prominent Sam Keith Ghost Rider cover art to have ever hit the market that I know of.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah, well, this is a great get for you guys. I mean, I wouldn't say you're always DC heavy, but that we do talk a lot about DC pieces when we do the previews. But this is having a really great classic piece from Marvel is really nice to see. I mean, it's just a fantastic piece. It really is.
This came with some other pages. You'll see those first on CAF.
Mhm.
They'll be on there soon. And that and other things are brewing day to day. There, you'll see. Just follow us on CAF. You'll see things on there, and you'll see us. Any piece of art that we have come in, we put on there as fast as we can. So
And follow us on all our social media.
Social media, absolutely. Yep.
Just don't make stupid comments or out to get involved.
And our lawyer is also watching, by the way. So
to make sure you bite your tongue, Alex.
No others.
To make sure other people who need to bite
this. Yeah, our legal advisor is a man named Mr. Mark Zaid. So I would suggest anybody Google him if they're not sure, and beware.
Yeah.
I'm sure a cease and desist was sent out.
Correct.
On Facebook. Well, that's good. I'm glad. You got to shut the trolls up, as often as you possibly can.
Yeah.
And again, everyone's entitled to their opinion, and good, bad, and different. But don't attack us. That's not going to end well.
No. Jason says we never make stupid comments in the chat. No. Not directed at the at my guests, but maybe at each other sometimes. But yeah, Anthony says great piece. Congrats on handling this one. Yeah, exactly. So it'll be interesting to see him. And again, anybody going to San Diego is going to get to see that piece too. So that's going to be fun. You're going to have a new set of pins.
Actually, we're having that conversation today. So yes, we will. Absolutely. Yes. I don't know what they're going to be yet. We're still working on that, but they will be there.
Very cool.
And we'll be at Little Giant Comic-Con coming up, South Carolina Comic-Con coming up. We'll be where else are we going to be?
Heroes Con.
Thank you. We'll be at Heroes Con. And a couple other toy conventions. I'll be out in Chicago coming up at the end of April for the King County Toy Show. So we'll
send out an email. I'm sorry, Kelly. I was just going to say we'll send out an email soon, and we'll do a list of all the shows we're going to be at, because we do accept consignments at all of those shows.
Mm-hmm.
So
if you're in Chicago, if you're in North Carolina, if you're in California, if you're in South Carolina, North Carolina, Chicago, like I just said, any of those areas, if you're within those areas, you want to give us consignments, let us know. We can take them on site.
Very cool. Which ones are you going to be at, Alex?
That would be none.
Yeah, he did his one show for the year, and that was for you, Bill.
That's what I thought. I wanted to make sure that I'm still as special as I thought I was. But
you are. He passed it on to us, and
Hey, I understand. I mean, I'm a busy guy too. It's like I'm looking at paring back on a few shows. After this year, you just can't. There's just not enough hours in the day, and to take a whole weekends here or there. The travel time. I don't blame you at all, Alex.
Yeah.
Look, again, people know my history from watching this show. I've been at Hakes 39 years. That's a long time, and many of those years I did shows. I paid my dues. So, but seriously, I've got a great crew, Kelly especially, that kills it at the show. So why do I have to be there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, I'm with you there. All right. Well, so everybody getting to see Kelly on his trip around the U.S. in the next 3 or 4 months. And again, if you've got any consignment related questions, or even future auction related questions, email comicart@hakes.com, and you'll get replied to, I'm sure, within moments, or at least within a few hours. So. All right. Well, listen. Congrats on the on that wonderful Sam Keith piece, and on this this past auction. You guys, you killed it. You continue to, and it's always a pleasure to get to hang out with you guys and talk shop.
Well, we appreciate it, and we also appreciate much of the success of any auction is who helps promote it, and that's you. And you do a wonderful job of doing it and helping us out and helping our community. We found great new homes for all the pieces that we offered, so that's the most important thing.
Absolutely.
I appreciate that. I really do. It's a lot of fun for me, and I'm glad it works out for all of us.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, enjoy the rest of your evening. Alex, I'm sure you'll be putting on some music shortly. Kelly, I don't, I'm not sure, what you do to wind down in the evening, but whatever it is, I hope you get some, some me time for yourself before you have to go back.
Actually, I went back into the office right now, so get some more. That's good. That's what Alex
I wanted to hear you say.
Yeah.
Oh man! All right, guys. We'll have a wonderful night, and we'll be talking soon. I know it.
All right, thanks. Appreciate everybody.
All right. So no, it's always fun hanging out with those guys. You know that, and cool piece for them to have for their upcoming auction. And they always do have a little bit of art in the non-catalog auction in May. So I'm sure there'll be some pieces in there of interest. Let's see here. Moving right along. There was a bit of sad news. I totally missed it yesterday, but a gentleman named Robert Beerbohm died yesterday. Long struggle with cancer. Interesting guy. I don't know if anybody here followed him on Facebook, but he was a very opinionated gentleman. He certainly told a lot of stories about the OA hobby in part, but he was more of a comic book historian. He ran comics in California, the Bay Area for years. He partnered with many people who were long-standing, important figures in our hobby, from comics to OA collecting. He was the originator of the story about buying Marvel art in the early 70s from certain Marvel editors who completely deny that's how it happened, and all that kind of crazy stuff. And he was the gentleman that, if you remember way back when, in one of our first shows, we talked about that story about the mudslide in Northern California that wiped out a guy's warehouse from that he had all of his comics and memorabilia at. It was Robert's warehouse, and in that warehouse he had lots and lots and lots of comic art, and literally 90% of a warehouse full of comics material was destroyed in that one. So he again, very he started his business long ago with Bud Plant. So he was a mover and a shaker. And the interesting thing is, after I did that documentary, you want to call it that, I put that in quotes, for the New York Comic Arts Gallery. I don't know how he got my phone number, but back in 2020, he gave me a call and literally talked my ear off for probably about 4 hours. Very interesting. He really wanted to get his stories out there, and he was looking for any way to get it done. And back in 2020, as being Mr. Fledgling, Comic Art Live channel, all that kind of stuff, I wasn't really ready to do it, but we had a really nice conversation with him, and we stayed in touch off and on after that. He was always popping back in every now and again, asking me if I felt I'd have time to maybe pull together these I think he had like 6 main segments of the hobby that he wanted to cover. But I always told him I didn't have time. But at the end of the day, he, if you weren't friends with him, or if you were, he definitely had a lot of great stories, a lot of great photos. He maintained his opinions throughout, the whole time I knew him. And I followed him on Facebook probably for about 4 or 5 years even before that. So, just again, an interesting character, and he will be missed by many. Even I remember just even last week he was still posting or reposting things that he had posted before. But a very interesting guy, and somebody who is definitely going to be missed. Anthony even says he dealt a lot with him in the 90s. Yeah, it was definitely more hitting shows during that period of time. I think I met him once in San Diego, but it was before we started corresponding. So again, my condolences to his family. Again, very, very interesting gentleman, and as long as his Facebook page is active, I think everybody will get to relive many of the stories that he put out there for us. So, did he catalog the OA loss? I don't know that, but that was kind of part of the stuff. I think he probably did. I'll be perfectly honest, Jason. I think he had a lot of stuff that he wanted to get off his chest, definitely, and I knew that I was not the person to be able to help him do that, because there was just too much there. It was very interesting, but there was just way, way too much to cover. There was not, and we wouldn't have the money or time to be able to do it. But at any rate, interesting. Sorry, I'm reading through the chat here, but mud bricks of art. That is exactly, I think, how it was described, Rick Welch. That's the guy who told the stories about the editor stealing all the art. Yeah. Well, did they say he never said stealing? He said they had it. He never accused them of anything other than selling him and several other collectors' art at a hotel room at a con in the Midwest. Remember Neil Adams? I remember it was like one of the early X-Men books, complete Neil Adams artwork. Everything was $5 or $10 a page. It was crazy. But at any rate, it is what it is. So, rest in peace, Mr. Robert Beerbohm. So schedule-wise, let me hit on that so we can get on with the show. Saturday with Tim Seeley. We're actually, I can't do it at 2, so 2:15. We're going to start a little bit later than usual on Saturday. I've got, I did that unboxing of his artwork last week, mostly covers from, different titles. There's even a Dynamite cover in there, believe it or not. So that'll be at 2:15 on Saturday. I'll have Andrew G. Dinesh and Satari on next Tuesday. We've got an amateur match between Tatiana and Matt DiTullio next Wednesday. Couple conversations in between there. I've got Jared Simmons, Sarah Jane Blum from Heritage Illustrations Department. I've got an art sales show coming up with Michael Oming and Joe Linsner in April on the 20th and the 27th. We'll have an amateur match between Mr. Lovitz and Mr. Barucci on the 24th. And Comic Art Live, everybody's anxiously awaiting that. That's going to be the weekend of May 11th and 12th. I believe we'll start the posting to your booth within the next 3 weeks. I forget what the date was that I had set it to, but I believe it might be the 12th. The 12th of April will probably turn on booth editing. So be ready for that. That's only 2 weeks away, actually. Then in June, I'll have Jamal Eigel and Bart Sears, whom we've had on once before. Looking forward to talking with Bart again. We didn't really get to talk as much about his career in comics as I would have liked that first time I had him on there. So there you go. That's that's the big upcoming schedule. And will Mikhail do the interview with Jared? I don't know. Probably not. You guys in the chat. See, you're all being funny now. All right. And I wanted to, I'm a little bit behind on stuff, but Rob Gomez, Mr. Wolvie fan himself, started advertising on CAF about, I think it was beginning of the week. So thank you, Rob, for doing that. Rob has obviously launched his own website to sell his artwork, and I'm encouraging everybody to sign up for his mailing list. He really launched all of that stuff when he was at OAX. But if you go to wolviefanscomicart.com, there's a subscribe for updates here button right on his homepage. So make sure you do that. We're going to be sending out a few mailings a month for him too, for some of his art updates and sales and things he's got going on. So thank you to Rob for his support on CAF, and I know we're going to be working a bit more with Rob in the future. So yeah, you'll be seeing him again on the show sometime soon. When are we starting mystery sketches? Alberta wants to know. Not finalized, but I know Kazra and I have some stuff to discuss this weekend, so we will probably start plotting all of that out. I mean, there's lots of things obviously that are going to be happening soon. Not only just the exhibitor booth starting, but probably right around that same time. If I had to guess, if the exhibitor booths are going to start on the 12th, my guess would be, honestly, probably 2 weeks from now, the 11th. We will launch the mystery sketch sales. We really should probably even launch it next week on the 4th, but Kazra and I will work out those details, and I'll let you know soon. But with that, the sooner the better, because we want to try to get those sales in early and dish out some of the mystery sketches a little bit earlier, so we can get the art in hand to all those that buy them as early as possible. So fingers crossed. But I'm going to guess. I'm not going to say next week, but I'm thinking next week we might do this. But yeah, we will see. Now let's. Other than that, I think that's about it for the schedule wise. So I've got Mr. Snork in the green room, and I'm trying to keep it quick tonight. I've got an important meeting tomorrow, so I don't want to be up all night long tonight on a long show. Yes. How you doing, Chris?
I'm good. You?
I'm fantastic, actually. We've been lots of stuff going on. I got a new version of the app that I got to download today at the end of the day and look at. So nice. Lots of cool stuff going on. I'm having a good time. And all right. Important stuff happening. But I was going to show off that Hitch art. I figured, there's no reason to leave you sitting in the green room. I know you're not a fan of his thing, art. And that's okay.
It's just it's a personal preference thing. He's great at so many things. No pun intended.
Exactly. I mean, because you actually picked a piece of Brian Hitch art.
I almost picked one this week too, but I refrained.
All right. Well,
Or did I?
You did.
Okay.
You did pick one this week.
Okay. The weeks blend together, Bill.
I know. It's okay. Look at you get all caps from Josh Flanders when you come on screen. Look at that.
Flanders is a good dude. Thanks for the caps, Flanders. You're the only good Flanders.
The only good
Not Ned.
So last Saturday we had a show with Brian Hitch, and it was it was an art sale show interview. It was a lot of fun. I've talked with Brian a few different times on a couple Zoom calls and things. So, but we never really talked about his career and whatnot. And it was fun. I mean, I actually look forward to talking with him again. I think there was a lot of things that kind of came out, just about his process and his philosophy on comics and things that we really didn't get to touch on. Because they caught me by surprise. I'm like, well, I don't want to go down that rabbit hole because I know I've only got like another 10 minutes to talk to this guy, right? But so I look forward to getting to do that again with him. But we sold some art, and I let everybody know because I think the one piece of Fantastic Four art that I did show was oversized, and Jeff Moy actually picked that one up, and it had Galactus on it. And I said, oh, you got to, and it was, I forget what the size was, like 14 by 19. So very, it definitely was oversized artwork. And I said, but you really have to see the really oversized artwork that he did with Fantastic Four when he was doing that ultra wide stuff. Because I've got like, I don't know, there's probably like 20 pieces here. Again, haven't cataloged them at all. I just pulled some random pieces out to show everybody just for scale. But and one of them, I didn't know what it was. Turns out it's actually like one of the covers. I mean, I don't know. I mean, at any rate, here, I'll just show you. Where's the measuring tape for this thing, right? I think it's got to be at least like 34. This is it's got Ben and I'm not sure which.
Spidey.
Yeah, it's got Spidey in the bottom panel. So, but I mean, it's huge. It's got to be like
big.
30. Wow. Yeah, I'll measure it because I have absolutely no idea. But this is the size of several of the pieces. I don't even know where I put the tape measure. Oh, here it is. Let's see here. It's
Marcus wants to know how many hands it is.
I'm not playing that game. It's 21 and a half by what do we got here? Almost 28. So huge. Absolutely huge. And the funny thing was, he said that he drew faster when he was drawing on this than rather like 22 by 17, which is just crazy.
Well, maybe if you don't have to be as fiddly,
I guess
pack a lot of detail in.
I asked him if Eerie enjoyed inking. Was he able to ink as fast as you could pencil? And he said no. It was Paul didn't like doing that. Here, look at
got out the 1-inch brush.
There, I gotta step back from the camera.
Oh, that's awesome.
Look at that. I should probably go full screen. But yeah, isn't that awesome? I mean, I know again, it's the thing. So not.
Will you send me a picture of that? Would you mind later?
No, sure, absolutely. So this was cool. I know I wanted to pick a couple of the Galactus pieces because I knew it would. I mentioned it that they were just kind of crazy, but look at this, just the size of this thing, man.
Holy cow!
I'm just blown. I basically had to buy my own storage cabinet to put some of this stuff in.
And Bill, is that bigger? Is that bigger than the Heaven's Ladder stuff?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Wow.
The Heaven's Ladder is like 14 by 19, I think.
Ooh.
Look at that.
Jeez.
There we go.
Where's Mikhail when you need him?
I know. Look at this. That's just crazy. But yeah, I mean,
the perspective on that is absolutely nuts.
Isn't this crazy? I thought this piece was unbelievable.
Wow. And
the thing is, I haven't tried. Well, I can't scan any of this stuff, but just and we haven't really inventoried anything. So we're gonna end up slowly, figuring out what he wants to sell and let go of, and what the order.
How would you ship it?
I think some of this stuff has to ship in a tube. I don't even know. I would not, even with Masonite, I don't think I'd want to try to ship it that way. I'd just be too afraid because, at that size, you're going to have to, it's going to be at least, it's going to be over 3 foot wide by almost 30. I don't know. Even buying the thicker Masonite, I don't think I'd want to go that route.
My Frank Cho cover shipped in a tube, and when the tube showed up, I thought I was going to have a heart attack, but I pulled it out and let it lay flat for a couple of days. Oh my God.
Look at that. That's the cover to like 569 or something like that.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah.
I mean, and again, fortunately, there's only about 20 pieces like this.
It's like a poster.
I know.
It's original.
I mean, it is crazy, but yeah, cool stuff. And I think there's at least 10 FF covers in here too.
NSN is asking if they're on one board.
Yeah, it's all one board. Nothing, nothing taped together. That was the other crazy thing. None of this stuff was taped up or at all, which is just, but it makes it all that more spectacular that it's not done like that. So
no seam, no
no seam. I mean, it feels like a poster.
That's awesome.
That is crazy that, because you figure I should have asked him, how did you ship this to the, some of the stuff is inked by him, but I've been looking at that. Some of them was inked by someone named Curie. I'm not sure, but
Andrew Curry, I think. Yeah.
Yep. And then a couple by Eerie. But at any rate, crazy stuff. Absolutely crazy stuff. Oh, that's right. Kesser has a few of the reinforced 6-inch diameter tubes. Yes, that's right. We had to buy like 4 of them. They were very expensive, but that's my feeling is with those sizes, unless I'm going to deliver it in person, there's because even the piece that Jeff bought, felt a little weird shipping it, because I actually cut a special piece of masonite for it. It just still felt too large. But I mean, I was like, all right, this is going to work. But that stuff, that's not going to work. Anyway, bring him to Heroes. Yeah, that's a possibility.
Well, maybe I'll ping Jeff and see if I can go to his house and see that.
That's right. He lives nearby.
He's local boy. Yep.
So yeah, and hey, you what is it? Drink Wisconsin. How does it go?
Drink Wisconsin-bly.
Yeah, that's it. Wisconsin-bly. That's right.
Uh-huh.
I was in line at the Harry Potter ride on Monday, and I turned around and there was this guy wearing that T-shirt. And I'm like, "Do you mind if I take a picture?"
Yeah, they actually sell those in the airport here.
Well, that's the ultimate keepsake when you're leaving.
And beer.
Yeah. But no, I won't bring these to Heroes though, Robert. I mean, at the end of the day, how the heck am I going to get them there? There's no portfolio big enough to put them in. So yeah. But at any rate, so let's see, where do we got to go from here? I guess what do we got? I'm sorry, I had a couple notes here to go over, but I guess we can just jump into my heritage picks and stuff, right?
Let's go.
Look at that. It was a difficult week. I actually had to go through the list 2 times to pick my 10
Oh,
pieces.
really? I had to do that last week. This week, I had 10, and then I had like maybe 15 pages of CAF left to go through for the week. So I did well. I mean, I did it because I do it, and like there's the one time that I'm like, I've got 10, I'm done. There'll be some piece where I'm like, oh my god, I should have picked that.
Yeah, that is true. I just saw a question from David Barr. Any ultimate pages? I think there might be 1 or 2 ultimate pages. There's several ultimate 2 pages from there and a couple covers. But not a lot from the first run. And I'd have to go, and I can't even promise that there is. I haven't, like I said, inventoried everything yet. There's way too much stuff.
How did he get them to you?
It was, well, he used to work with the rep in the U.S. and the rep, didn't go out of business. He just he just stopped really marketing the stuff. So I don't know how he got it to that guy. But they've been kind of in hibernation for about 10 years. And so that guy, I mean, I wish I had one of the boxes. He actually went to U-Haul and bought these picture shipping boxes. I mean, they were massive. They're almost 4 feet by 3 feet. And he wrapped them really well. I mean, because but yeah, that's how I got him. That guy shipped, they were already here they were actually in the Carolinas, I think. And
so it was Rich, right?
Yeah, it was Rich. Yep.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Okay. I bought a piece of authority art from him back in the day.
Lucky duck, man. Yeah, there's no authority art.
Oh, I gave it to my brother.
Yeah.
It was a Christmas present. Back when you could give original art for Christmas.
Those days aren't here anymore. But yeah, no authority art in this set. He had actually a pinup in here that's like a twice up, but that was something
I saw that one. Really nice.
Yeah, he did that more recently. That's not a published piece, unfortunately. All right, so let's go into the heritage stuff here. Highlight this. So first up, it's something by Mr. Stelfreeze. I just thought this was unique because we're all just so used to seeing his ink, work, his color work, and then just thought, oh, that's cool. Seeing some pencil stuff. I didn't look to see how often you'd get to see something penciled by Brian, but definitely you can see his style still kind of it stays true even here in his pencil only work, the tonal stuff, the lush lines. I mean, that I think is something that you always see in his brushwork. It's
the angles, it's got that character for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And so this I mean, look, it doesn't even have a bid on it yet, everybody. And it already costs $29 with the buyer's premium. But yeah, so if you want to get a fair, cheap priced Brian Stelfreeze piece, that's the one to go for.
It's cool too because I mean we forget a lot of times that many of these guys are classically trained, and this is the kind of stuff you have to do. To be good at drawing comic art, you have to be good at drawing people, and people are real, and these look like like life drawings on some level.
Yeah, definitely. And there's a big eye on there too, Marcus. You got that right. Then this was a cool piece. This was a Conan in the Spider God paperback cover.
Larkin?
It's Bob Larkin. Look at this thing, man. This just the color alone, the glow on that spider, would scare the I'd probably poop myself and run it out the other way.
Well, you're not Conan, Bill, so
that woman's doomed if I'm the one who's got it.
No boobs in the world worth that.
Conan, he's gonna fight his way through it. He's got Alberto's. There's a spider. Yeah,
nice,
exactly. But no, this is awesome. I mean, who doesn't love Bob Larkin stuff, man? And this is beautiful. I mean, really, really beautiful. It's already at $750. It's got to do well. I don't know what the size is on it, but it really doesn't matter. At the end of the day, it's just awesome and scary all at the same time.
So no skulls and no spiders.
No. Everybody hates spiders here at the house. So I know I can't own this one either.
Good thing you moved to Florida.
God, the biggest spiders. They look like crabs down here. They're so damn big. I was out
lizards to eat. There's lizards to eat them. Don't worry.
Oh yeah. Oh no, I know. I was out there. Maureen bought some fruit trees, and I'm digging these holes and stuff, and I'm kneeling down trying to get the pecking some manure and whatever in the hole. And I look down, and there's this spider. It's got to be at least like 2 inches across. He's just sitting there, like right next to my knee, and I've been digging right by him. He never moved, and I thought maybe he was dead. And I blow on him, and he runs. Ugliest. I mean, they're big down here. Anyway, not as big as this one though.
No.
So next up, another painterly piece. This one's a John Bolton Epic Illustrated 10. What was this from? Murata the She-Wolf story. Just cool stuff. Everybody who was picking up Epic Illustrated at the time. I mean, it was just cool to see stuff like this because we didn't really have the the Marvel magazines had kind of like come and went, and then Epic Illustrated came back and kind of reminded us how cool the medium could be, and Bolton stuff. He's just awesome. So it's just so nice to see stuff like this.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, that the tonal work in the water is like really incredible.
Yeah, I agree. Then next up, we saw a piece of Mandrake art the other night. I think Mike was trying to sell one, but it had the Spectre in it. But this is so much cooler than that one. This is from Spectre 27, page 12. I mean, look at that. This is insane. The Spectre's like, he's just this gaseous cloud, and it reads massive. It reads so damn well. I mean, look at that thing. Yeah. That is awesome.
Very cool.
Never, and I don't know jack about Spectre, and it doesn't matter. I mean, this is just a beautiful piece of artwork.
I'm sure I've said this before, but one of the things that I have always really liked about the Spectre is that like his power set is ostensibly kind of unlimited, right? Mm-hmm. And so it lets people do crazy stuff like this, where it's like, let's make him like Godzilla sized, but he's also gas. I mean, it just like lets you cut loose idea wise, and then you get something like this out of it.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. Tom Mandrake always was, I always enjoyed his work. So this is a great piece. And yeah, I know what did Marcus Mike's was just a sketch, Bill. Yeah. It was just a sketch, but that's why this one's so much better. Then this was a Sidney Jordan Jeff Hawk episode strip. I just like this piece. I mean, I can't give you any other reason. I like the darks. I like the patterns in the background. I mean, I thought I just enjoyed this as a work of art. There's a ton of strip art in this week's Heritage set, and I wrestled with. I actually think I did pick another piece too that we'll see in a little bit. But yeah, there's something about this just caught my eye, and I wouldn't normally. I mean, I don't think I've ever picked anything by Sidney Jordan, honestly. But
yeah. I like it that middle panel is really like atmospheric. It's cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. So there you go. Strip art that is probably going to end up being fairly affordable. Then there's several pieces by Leo Duranona in this auction. I think all from the same Eerie story. I mean, this guy obviously he's bound. He's got people wielding knives around him, but Duranona, he's an amazing artist. I mean, I've seen his stuff, for a long time. There's a fair amount of his artwork on CAF, and he's just somebody that we don't talk too much about because there were so many other great, artists working on Eerie and the horror books during the day. But Duranona, I think, had just a really distinct, clean, cool style that fit those books, and I just felt like he deserved a little bit of recognition here.
It's really like in parts, it's cool to me how like tightly rendered some of it is, and then how expressive some of it is.
Mm-hmm. Indeed, and like I say, there's probably 5 or 6 pages from the same story in their auction this time around. So definitely check it out, and even do a search for them on CAF, Duranona, and you'll appreciate that. Then there we go. This was kind of. It's from, what was it, Punisher No Escape story. I just like the page, man, and the storytelling on it. It's this is by Todd Smith and Danny Bullinati, and you get a cool explosion. You get the guy, the criminal keeping an eye on it out of the back of his limo. Everything's burning down, and I don't know, just something about the way this page was laid out for the story. I just thought it was fun, and And Todd Smith is, again, somebody I don't think I've picked before. Either in my CAF picks or from Heritage. So
I mean, it's exposition, but like for an exposition page, it's got some fun stuff happening on it. I love the expression in panel 2.
Oh yeah, that guy, he deserves his comeuppance.
Whatever happened to him at the hands of the Punisher is fine.
Exactly. Yep. So very nice piece there. Again, look at it. It's $0, and I got 3 more here. Oh, here was the other strip. Warren Tuff's Casey Ruggles daily. I honestly, I picked it for that last panel, and because I just love the lighting on it. They're walking up this hillside with the stones, and they both got their lanterns in hand. It's lighting these crazy looking rocks. I even love where he signed his name. Right in that spot right there. Isn't that neat? I mean, I don't know. I look at this thing and I think it's awesome. And again, I don't think I've ever picked anything by Warren Tuffs before, but cool piece.
It is cool. Yeah, I like it.
2 more here. This one just made me laugh, but I also thought it was artistically cool too. It's I love the textures on everything, whether it's her fur or her whatever you want to call that kind of a dress outfit she's got. The guy's pants, his tie. I mean, he's having a beer and a smoke. This I mean, everything that we I don't get to smoke a pipe or nothing, but I mean, come on, if this woman married to this guy, I mean, she's going out of the town. He's going, what do you mean? You're going out bowling with the girls, dressed like that? He knows better than that. At any rate, this was funny. And it was, who was it? Oh, Jefferson Mackamer. Never heard of Jefferson Mackamer. So
this one hits too close to home, Bill.
I know, when I saw the beer, I did think of you,
And if you take the pipe out and you put a cigar in his hand, this is basically my home life.
Yeah, I hear you. But no, a fun piece here. And again, an artist I know nothing about, but there's got to be a few pieces by Mackamer on CAF. And then lastly, again, like I said, it was kind of slim pickings this week, but this was a William Johnson and another piece that was inked by Danny Bullinati. This one is from Daredevil 198. And it's funny. It's like when you see the first, 2 panels, and even the first 3 panels, right? I wasn't thinking Daredevil when I looked at this. And then, you get Daredevil in the last 3 panels. But I like the piece, William Johnson, not too familiar with, but yeah, overall.
Nice, though. I mean, the name doesn't really ring a bell for me either. I guess I wonder how long this Daredevil run was, or if he was did some fill-ins or
right.
what. This is a nice looking page.
Yeah.
Really clean, like really well rendered, especially the guys in panel 3.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
wow.
I agree. That's why I had to pick it. But yeah, there was just a whole lot of strip art and just kind of middling stuff in the auction. I mean, I'm sure they'll do well, but it's hard to pick out 10 choice pieces. So I worked in a few new ones here just for fun. Anthony said he had 200 pieces, probably of that. I'm assuming the Humorama piece that you've had before. Anyway, all right, cool. So there's my heritage picks. Now, speaking of Anthony, I did forget. I do actually have a package here. I didn't even mention
package, people.
Yep. I did. As soon as I saw his name, I was like, oh shoot. All right, so knife in hand. We'll see what's here before we get to the Nick Barucci EXP preview.
I don't want to tip my hand, Bill, but I might be rethinking my Brian Hitch thing art position based on the size alone of those.
Well, remember
wall power.
Wall power. You got that right. There was I think didn't I send you a picture once? I think that piece was one of the. Well, no, it couldn't have been one of the super large ones. But anyway, yeah, it's pretty dang impressive at the end of the day.
I have a Hitch thing, but it was card art. I think that Upper Deck had that trading card game in the early 2000s that was called Versus, and Hitch did the Fantastic Four art for that. It was nice. The things on Yancey Street, he's bending a light pole. That's cool.
Well, there are 2 pieces of card art and the stuff that I got. Not the thing though. If it was, I would have shown it to you. All right, what do we got here? It looks like a pair of T-shirts. This is I don't know. It doesn't look like me, but there it is. I've got the Billithor, the power of Billithor. Is that what it says? I think so. My hair is
aspirational, Bill.
What's that?
It's aspirational.
It is. I've got a lot of working out to do if I'm going to look anything close to that. But
that's all right. I'll put you on a program. Start taking some Tron. You'll be fine.
All right. Hey, I don't mind. And so the other piece in there was the same shirt. So I'm wondering, is this maybe I can use that as a giveaway at some point. Thank you, Anthony.
Maybe one for Mo.
I somehow don't think that Maureen's going to want to wear a shirt with my face on. But you never know. All right. What do we got in there? Oh, look at that. What every fan of Thor needs to say, some Squatch Divine Storm men's natural soap, and boy, is it very nice. And another one. So yes, so I'll have to do a giveaway at some point because I have a couple Thor shirts. Thank you, Anthony. And enjoy, says Anthony. Enjoy A. All right, that was all right. That was it. Thank you, Mr. Snyder.
He's a class act.
Oh, Anthony says he sent enough for the whole family. Oh yeah, we're gonna take our next family photo with those on, Anthony.
The girls could probably fit it both in one.
That's probably very true. All right, so EXP tomorrow night, 7:00. Nick Barucci. I don't think we've seen Nick in the chat tonight. I hope everybody's hit that thumbs up if you haven't already, because Nick would have told you to do that at least 3 or 4 times by now. But yes, we'll see what Nick is bringing tomorrow on his show. And I've not watched this one yet, so I'll be learning what he's bringing just as you are.
Everybody, this Friday, which I think is March 29th, Amy's shaking her head. I got it right. She's even smiling, which is awesome. So this Friday, March 29th, you may notice something different here. I have a Gabriel Delado Red Sonja Claw cover, and I have a Wonder Woman oversized book, Spirit of Truth, signed by Alex Ross Pauldini, with an Alex Ross sketch, number 4 out of 99. Comes with a certificate of authenticity. But you may be asking, why is that all you have, Nick? I mean, your shows are jam-packed. They're usually like a Dagwood sandwich. They're almost as big as your mouth. So what the heck is going on? Because, the pile of art, almost as big as my mouth. It's been a busy week. So I haven't pulled all the art yet, but I will. And if I don't, what's the worst thing that could happen? We talk about Waffle House. We talk about my great adventures with Great Eastern Conventions. And what was the other convention? Creation Conventions. And that I'm an old man with old stories who makes bad jokes. And Amy's giving me the speed it up thing. Here, let me give you one bad joke, okay? Amy, how many eggs do you need in an empty basket? How many eggs do you need to fill an empty basket? She's like looking at me like I'm not answering this. You ready? 1 egg. Because once you put an egg in, it's not empty anymore. All right. So this, oh God, this is going to be so bad. This Friday, March 29th, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, tune into the original art experience where we will have these 2 pieces of art, maybe some more art, or we'll be talking about Waffle House again. So, and for those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about, tune in Friday and you may find out. So, hit that thumbs up. Don't share this one because people who don't know anything about the shows will be confused, but I love you for it. So hit that thumbs up, and I'll see you Friday at 7.
Rough week, he ran out of black shirts. You got that right, Tom. I don't think we've ever seen him in something that wasn't a black shirt.
Navy is so close, but it's not black.
He's trying to fool us. But all right, well, he skipped laundry day apparently, and only had to go hit a switch to blue. All right, well, we're gonna get on with things here. So let me cue up the CAF update. So we've got what was the period? I even forget what the window we were looking at here. This was the 18th through the 24th.
There you go.
Yeah, kind of an average week for art dealers. They did $294,000 in sales. With what was that from the week before was 438, so a bit of a drop, but 438 was pretty strong. Bermuda Man had 6 sales, 128,000. Albert 13 sales, 48,000. Panel Page 6 sales, 45,000. Felix had 27 sales and $30,000. What do we got? Anthony with 28 sales and 16, and Tatiana had 9 sales, just around 7,000. I think Felix has some art drop going on tomorrow with some guy named Daniel Warren Johnson.
Some characters call it Transformers. I don't know. I'm not familiar.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Felix is going to have a good week next week, but we shall see. So let's see. Top 6 sales from last week by OA dealers that we track. First, what is it? We've got the total 294,634. And I got to get Ashton to change that font on that $sign. That does not look right. But the first piece, what is this? Daredevil 16, page 6, sold by Mike Burke. He says $125,000 was the asking price on this thing. John Romita Senior pencils, Frank Giacquay inks. Historic first from Romita time that he draws Spider-Man from 1965. All right. Next up, we got a Jack Kirby, Joe Sinnott, Fantastic 466 page, sold by Albert Moy, $32,500 asking price on that one. Then we have a Web of Spider-Man 74 cover that was sold by Glenn. $20,000 asking price. Artist on this one was Alex Sadiuk. $20,000. That's Alex
price.
Going strong, I guess. So what do we got next? We have a J. Scott Campbell Inhumans #1 cover variant sold by Glenn again. $10,000 asking price on that. Then a Riley Rossmo Wesley Dodds of Sandman issue 3 cover. $7,500 sold by Felix. And then the last piece and this was sold by Glenn. It's George Tuska on Iron Man 54, page 12. Asking price was $6,700 on that one. Not too bad. You get
that's one of the best Tuskas I've ever seen.
I would agree. I can't say that I've seen a better one than that. You know, you get Iron Man subby coming in there at the end. Yeah, that was a pretty good looking page. I mean, $6,700 is a pretty strong price for a Tuska interior. That's for sure. Anthony says next week he's going to be back to number 1.
We're rooting for you, Champ.
He said he's throwing the gauntlet down there against the other dealers. All right, so what do we got here? I don't think I got my numbers right on the auction house stuff, so I'll read it when I'm definitely confident I did not get my numbers right. So I could add it up in my head, I guess, but I know the number is closer to 600. It was like 600,000. No, I'm not even confident on that one. No, it wasn't 600,000. That's right, because of it was the heritage stuff and the eBay stuff only. So it was right around 300,000, maybe like 303. So I think the number is going to be wrong because I think I passed the wrong number to my son. So we can't blame him on that. But well, let's see. Let's see what it says.
Fake news.
Yeah, it's going to be fake news for sure. Here we go. Let's see. I was going to say 1.1 million, isn't it? No, it's not. I gave him the right number. Oh, somehow I just didn't manage to update it on my side of things. So 303,000 for everybody. But this one, we'll talk about this after it shows. Adam Hughes, Mary Jane pinup, $20,000. Well, we'll talk about that after it's over. Anyways, next up we have a a piece by someone named Brandon House. This is it was literally titled "Lesbian Triangle Cover Art." Went for it was asking price $3,500, but sold for $2,550. And then a pair of Ryan Otley Invincible number 40 pages listed $3,000. Best offer $1,400 for the pair.
Whoa!
I know that's yeah. I think a lot of people would have bought those at that. So what do we got next? Then it's the Heritage Weekly. Kirby Coletta New Gods 4-page. This one went for $7,500 on Heritage. Then we've got a Captain Britain UK cover to issue 13. Al Milgram on one. This one went for $6,000. And finally, the piece that we featured last week, that Alex Toth Blazing Combat 2 page, went for $5,760.
Wow.
That's a nice one.
That's a good price on, or I mean, that's a strong price on that one. I feel
I agree.
I wish I knew more about the Toth market because I'd love to be a part of it, but that seems strong.
Yeah, I have absolutely no, other than those little, the sketchbook stuff that you see a lot of, and those you can get fairly affordably. Yeah. The published stuff, I have no idea on, not at all.
Well,
but
Chuck Arnold loves to point out to me that Toth actually didn't work all that much in comics, and he's not wrong.
Well, and he says it was high for that piece.
Yeah, I felt like it was high too. Strong is what I said.
Strong. Well, that's I think the market's finally turned. Things aren't so flat as they used to be. I'll be really curious to see how the Heritage Signature Auction does next week. There's a lot of strong pieces in there, but it'll be curious as always to see if the trend continues. Brian Bailey.
What are we talking about with the Hughes?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, let me knock it off. So the Hughes actually said it had a make offer on it. So I went and I checked. And that site told me that the make offer was $20,000 too. So, I mean, I don't believe it. Either that site, the site that I used got the information wrong, or there's something little hanky-panky going on there. I mean, Adam Hughes like that, I could definitely see going for $5,000. I mean, on a good day, I think. I mean, it's a very nice piece, and it's probably from judging by it, like when it was like 15 years ago. I mean,
I think it was maybe a statue design.
Also, maybe let me look at it again. I can click on it.
I've seen the piece before.
I feel like I had too, but yeah, I mean, it definitely. I mean, I'm not sharing the screen right now, but it says sold. It definitely says sold. And I went to the site that I always use to check the make offers, and it listed it as a sold piece as well. But it said $20,000, which that's the first time where the number was the same as what was listed.
I feel like half of that.
You think it could go for 10? I mean, if it was really a statue design, then there's a bit more interest in it, I guess. But still,
I think it was a print too, because I think once upon a time they were shipping prints with those statues. No way, Chuck.
Rick says, okay, Carlos Mo says it would be low at 5. Okay, I don't know.
Yeah.
Hey, I mean, it's a convention sketch. Or, I mean, if 5 was low, I mean, that's why I think 5 was fair. I mean, you look at what the commissions that he did at OAX were 6 and 12, right? Those $6,000 commissions were not marker sketches, like that piece. So I just don't think that I'm not going to use it all. You guys know that. I love his stuff, but I feel like his Copic marker era, even with a hot babe with nothing on but a shirt, is probably still in the. 8 seems high, but hey, who am I? I don't follow the market.
Yeah, no, same.
All right. Anyway, so there you have it. Shenanigans or something. We'll see if the piece comes back. I actually clicked to see the seller's other items just to see if there was, if maybe it was listed for sale again, and it was not. So it's at least off the market temporarily. All right. Now we can get on with our picks of the week. And Chris, you get to lead us off as always.
Let's do it.
Highlight this thing in the right spot there. All right, so collection of Jason G, 15-year CAF member here. We've got a Christopher Jones cap, and was it cover art? It says, it does say it's.
I don't think he was sure.
Okay.
But, it's got a cover vibe, certainly. There's enough headspace to probably put a title dress on there. But I just think it's such an emblematic image of Cap. He's deflecting bullets off the shield. But I think the thing I liked the most about it was it's very graphic, it's very clean, and you don't typically see a almost completely reversed out image of Cap, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's just not the way artists tend to depict the character. So I just, I liked it for that reason ultimately.
Correct. Yeah. No, I like it too. And Jones is somebody I'm not sure we've featured too often before, but a solid draftsman. I think I love the lighting on this piece. And I like it too. It kind of stood out as a thumbnail when I saw it before I got your set. So no, really, really, really nice piece. I like it a lot. And curious how he got that. Because Jason isn't a premium member, but he got this thing scanned just enough in such a way that it gets the hover thing, because it has to be just big enough to not fit in there. And usually non-premium members can't get a size that big. So interesting.
An exploit.
Yes, I'm curious how he did that. Maybe he was premium, and then his premium status just went away. But anyways, great piece by in the collection of Jason G.
Actually, can you put? I'm sorry. Before we move on, can you put up Chuck's comment? I got that. That same feeling from it. Actually, like a Gaijin Studios. I was gonna say Stealth Freeze a little bit, but yeah, Pearson's that's dead on.
Yeah, that's not a bad point, Chuck. Very good. Let's see. I'm sorry. I want to switch. What did CJ say? Bill, art that was sold at a lower offer has a strike through. No strike through on the Hughes, just flat 20. I know, but it did say best offer though. That was the thing. That's why it was kind of weird. Hey, if it sold for 20, the Hughes market is going crazy, and that's the prices on and maybe you think about it. The idea that he did those commissions at OAX, right? At 6 and 12, and people thought that was high. Maybe it's those sorts of things that drive the market, and now you know what the prices are.
It certainly contributes.
Yeah, it might play a role in it. Sorry, it would say best offer accepted on that one. It did. I'm not lying. I wasn't going to reshare the screen, but anyways, back to the second pick here. And okay, Jason says, Bill, someone above said it was a cover to one of his sketchbooks. Now that I don't remember. I do have a number of his sketchbooks, but I clearly don't have that one. Well, that would, okay. All right. Hey, a Hughes cover at 20 grand. Nobody's going to scoff at that. CJ's looking right at it. Okay. Hey, all right. I get it. Moving on to the next piece. What do we got here? This is the Hitch piece that, I actually sold this one to Darrow R, so that's why I knew it was Hitch. It's freaking cinematic, awesome. I love this thing. Isn't that great?
Yeah, Darrow continues to be my nemesis. for having this because man, I love this thing. It's like a Michael Bay movie with the Punisher in it, right? You got cars flipping and explosions and a guy shooting through the roof of the car, and this is exactly what I love about Brian Hitch is like his ability to draw just mass mayhem, and it's one of my favorite characters, so this was a no-brainer for me.
Yeah, no, same thing. I mean, I got to see this one up close. I thought it was awesome. He had a couple other Punisher covers in there that were kind of cool, but this one was it just really stood out. And I know, when Darrow took a look at a couple ones that I'd sent him, he was like, yeah, that one's awesome. And it really is. But like you said, it's the action in this thing. It's crazy. I don't know how the Punisher's, man, he's like surfing the top of that car and he's still not getting shot in the knee, even though the guy is firing right up through there, man. Punisher knows
his lust for vengeance just keeps him stuck to that roof.
Yeah. No, this is very nice. So congrats to Darrow for picking this one up. I get the thumbs up on that one. And but and I have to tell you, just going back to the app, I'm not going to show it to anybody, but it's going to be so cool, everybody. When you're scrolling through the artwork, like on the new feed, you can like stuff right from there. So you don't even have to, you don't have to go to the piece. You can sit there just like when you're on the Instagram app, practically. But you can like stuff immediately. So it's there's going to be a lot more likes getting dished out, but we're going to be thinking about how to make everything, maybe be able to leave comments from the feeds. That won't be in version 1, but putting your thumbs up on stuff is going to be a whole lot easier now.
Can Marcus leave MP5s of his, or MP whatever they are now, of his song parodies that he sings himself? Is that a thing he could do?
That's a thought. That is definitely a thought. Maybe some kind of a recording mechanism that allows for that. I don't know. We'll have to think about that one.
If you let us comment with GIFs, Bill, it's all over.
It's okay. I'll make a note of that. That is true. I mean, honestly, the sky's the limit now. My eyes have been opened. I thought apps were goofy. I never would have thought. But the more I'm getting to play around with it, the more I'm like, shoot, man, we should have had this like 5 years ago. Cool. So anyway, but yeah, great pickup by Darrow. I mean, this one is awesome, and
I love it.
Yep, and I think it might have been like a slightly oversized piece as well. Then another one of my favorite artists, Mark Nelson. This is in the collection of Jim Latimer, right? Yep. And lovely piece. Love his choice of ink color on this thing. It's awesome.
The ink color was, it makes you think that this is like from some old like historical textbook or something, right? Like when we didn't have photographs and we had to draw scenery, like that was kind of what it evoked to me right away. And then, the fact that it's actually a science fiction piece is kind of like secondary to that, but beautiful scenery. I love the way he fades out the other rock formations in the back, like with just, simple, like lighter lines. The layered composition, I think, is really clever. It gives you a sense of like scale and depth at the same time. And, he's just such an amazing technical drafts person that it's mind boggling.
Quite true. No, I mean, I love it. I love the depth in this thing, the detail up close, and then just kind of the background just kind of fading away. Yeah, no, it's awesome. Sepia inks. That's what it looks like, but I wish I could see it in more detail. I mean, it's a non-premium user, but still just absolutely fantastic. Mark Nelson is just an amazing draftsman. And CJ, I just have to tell CJ, I'm looking at eBay while I'm doing this, and it's not striking through like it used to on those. It says or best offer. And all I can tell you that on all 3 of the pieces on my thing, they all had best offers and were written the same way. It's not striking through anymore. Anyway, eBay's made a lot of changes on their site of late. So anyways, Mark Nelson, awesome draftsman. We all love him.
Yep.
Now this next one, this is like so unfair.
How do you do this?
It's like, was he been sitting on this thing for 30 years? He's like,
that's what it sounds like.
I know. I was like, where did this thing come from? Because
I'd be telling my neighbors that I had it.
Oh, hell yeah, of course. I mean, how is this even possible? But Felix Liu drops this bombshell on CAF, and it's Seed of Destruction issue 1 cover. It's crazy. I mean, I was blown away when I saw this thing pop up.
There have been a few times when I've seen a piece of art and thought, oh my God, someone owns that.
Mm-hmm.
This was one of those times. And the fact that it's Felix, I mean, I'm not surprised necessarily, but one, I didn't know he was a Hellboy fan. Two, this is it. Like, this is it. This is the one.
Exactly. Well, that's the thing with Felix. I think he has a probably very diverse appreciation for comics and stories and artists and writers. Clearly he does, but he doesn't. He gets the best of the best when he buys something. When he puts something in his collection. I admire that about him. Because as collectors, he doesn't chase squirrels like many of us do. He really is. He's very focused, and I admire that. I don't know if he picked this up last week or if he's had it for 10 years. He picked the right time to drop it.
Yeah, it was hard to infer from his Instagram post either, but he didn't give it away in the description of the art. But I mean, it has it all. I mean, one, it's so significant, right? I mean, you can't take that away. But two, it's got, what else do you want in a Mignola than this? It's got statuary, it's got stark black and whites, it's got a much more detailed Hellboy than we've become accustomed to seeing in the last 15 years or so.
Yep.
So in my mind, this is peak era Mignola. So in my mind, this has got that going forward as well. But just wow.
Yeah. No, I completely agree. The circles where the horns were audacious, says Chuck.
Mm-hmm.
It's true. Well, he was still figuring it out at that point,
Yeah.
how he wanted to handle it. But
clearly, because by like issue 3, honestly, even later on in this issue, he doesn't really look like that as much, right? He starts to like monsterfy him or, whatever, a little bit. And then before you know it, you have the Hellboy that like we all, know and love, but this isn't quite that.
Right. But congrats, Felix. You won CAF for the week. How many else? What has he got? Yeah. He's got 59 likes. He's got 70 comments. I mean, yeah, everybody liked this piece and deservedly.
Brings all the boys to the yard.
It does. It does, man. So yeah, absolutely amazing. Congrats. I mean, my cap is off to Felix on that one. And then this one, who's cap go? Oh, Dave Carlin. Dave Carlin, I assume still reps Butch Geis, and that might be why he has a line on picking up this incredible Winter Soldier commission. But wow, I mean, I think everybody would want to pick up a Geis commission if it would turn out like that.
I loved the nature of the piece, the fact that it's these like scenes throughout the character's history, like that really, was the coolest element of this for me. But I've picked Butch Geis so many times. I'll probably continue to do so because he's so amazing. He's so good. Look at this. I mean, the line quality, the textures, like the way that he laid this whole thing out and made every vignette or whatever you want to say like stand on its own but be cohesive in the whole the entire image, like where he chose to put Zemo, like I mean this is amazing. This is gorgeous.
Nope, I completely agree. I've always loved his stuff, and this is phenomenal. Makes me want to commission him. Rick Welch said Carlin's website is gone. Yes, because we used to host Dave's website. He decided he liked only posting on CAF, so he knew he didn't have to double post anyway. But that was the approach that he had, and he it was the beginning of last year, I think, was when he said, "Turn my site off. I'm just using CAF as my place." So I think he still works with Geis, but yeah, no more website. And Chuck says, bring Butch to OAX. He deserves a lap, but I couldn't agree with you more. I would definitely, he's somebody that I want to get there. I mean, I have a long list, but Geis is certainly on it. So trust me, we'll definitely explore it as a possibility, see if he's interested.
And what a career too. I mean, he's been doing this a long time, and this is like, you can't say this about too many artists. He's still getting better.
I know.
You know,
it's crazy.
This is as good or better than anything he's ever done, at least with Winter Soldier.
Mm-hmm. And it's just so true. He's just an amazing artist. I mean, he's inked, some incredible, talented pencilers. He's been involved in so many great stories, and just like everybody's saying, he's so underrated. Jason's saying that, and it's true. I mean, it's just you don't think about him too much, but every time you see his artwork, you're blown away by it. And
I completely agree.
Yeah. So yes, definitely, and yes. Jason says, "Try harder, Kazra." So yep, we'll continue to try. We'll see what we can do. But anyway, what's next? What do we got next? We've got Jeff Darrow, hard-boiled piece. Let's see if we can zoom in on this a bit.
Not enough. Yeah, it looks like pencil smears at this scale, unfortunately. But if you get the chance, go look at this. The same collector posted.
Hey, my camera died out.
Oh wow!
Let me swing that around to my cheap camera. Yeah, no, I'm still here.
Okay. Well, I was gonna say the same collector posted 2 hard-boiled images this week, and I was hard pressed to pick between the 2. I picked this one. Ultimately, there's no great reason why I didn't pick the other one.
Mm-hmm.
But if you get a chance, go look at both of them, because I mean, I feel like in a crazy way, we all like take Jeff Darrow for granted a little bit, because we know that this is what he's capable of.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure you remember, Bill, when Hard Boiled came out, this was unheard of. Like, it was all anybody in the comic shop would talk about. Like, was the current issue of Hard Boiled.
Marcus has the wrong hard-boiled going on there, but it is insane. I'd love to see this piece in person.
It would take you an hour to look at it.
It would. And I'm sure this is
still
huge.
be finding things.
Right? I mean, does it list the size? No, it does not list the size. But again, it's got to be massive. I mean, usually this stuff was oversized. So, yeah, that's crazy. Awesome piece. I'll get the like on that one. And Z Collect, 10-year member of the site. I feel like I've never seen Z Collect.
Wasn't familiar either. So another good reason to pick something.
Mm-hmm. So what do we got next? Next up, we have something in Greg Wilson's CAF gallery. We've got Amador Garcia, Plain Jane.
So I did not recognize the artist. I'm not sure I've ever seen their work before, but this is, comic strippy, right? Like imagery in the page format. So I thought it had that going for it. But look at the attention that he lavishes on those backgrounds, and tell me that this isn't like something else.
No, it's fantastic.
Look at the texture on the bartender's shirt.
Yeah. No, well, the last panel is crazy, but every one of them is packed with detail. Even when she's sitting on the couch here, the foreground has that the vase with the flowers in it, the pattern on the pillows. I mean, it's crazy. Yeah, I'm not familiar with the artist's name at all, but the city scene's great. I mean, even the word balloons are a little big, and block out the amazing artwork. But still, this thing it's a pretty amazing piece.
And ironically named Plain Jane. There's nothing plain about this piece.
Interesting. Because I managed to get the cleavage in there in that last panel, though. But still, let me see here. What do we got here? Amador Garcia. 2 pieces on CAF.
Wow.
The other one. Yeah, Greg Wilson posted the other one too. So I'm not sure why there's 4 images in it, but
he's maybe got the whole story.
Yeah, maybe that's what it is. Pages
further sequential.
70. You're right. Here's the first one. So okay, just decided to throw it together like that. Well, clearly there's a reason why you and I don't know. There's only 2 pieces of art, or 2 scans of art on CAF.
Yeah.
So technically 5. Yes, Marcus. I see. I got it. Looks like Gray Morrow style. Yeah, a little bit like that. I'm not going to argue with you on that one.
That's beautiful.
Yep. Cool. Very, very interesting. Next up, we have El Cid, and the Vision from Eerie 66 by Gonzalo Mayo. Yowza. Look at that. Wow.
Isn't this some nuts?
You know, the way he's handling the shadows on the castle with those just wiggly lines, that is insane. But all the other details.
Gorgeous detail on that horse, and like there's a bird, there's birds, there's so much texture on this. It's like unbelievable. And the composition, like the title page as a title page, works like incredibly well.
Wow. Yeah, this is fantastic. Doggone it. And look at the shading in here, and these, you know, the stairway here, and the bricks in the wall, and
really that panel on the bottom left there is so like Wrightson-esque. It's not even funny.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
Doggone it. What year this is? Eerie 66. I'm not sure when that was published. Tristan Portol is the owner of it.
Mid-70s?
I am not sure. Somebody in the chat can Google
that's a wild ass guess, but I mean that was about the time I feel like Eerie was, you know.
Brian fears he was criminally underpaid for that work. We all would.
Yes.
Definitely. All right. Well, Tristan, I think I picked a piece by Tristan too. No, I'm not sure, but I think they made a couple of really good posts this past week. And it was funny. This piece I picked, and then you picked it, so I had to take it out of my list.
Oh, sorry.
This was in George's CAF gallery, George Hodge, of course. I thought this thing was amazing. What was the artist's name? Flaviano
Armentaro.
Wow. Yep. I love this thing.
So he is, I think, still based in Europe, but Cam repped him for a little bit, long enough for some of us to get some really cool commissions and buy some art. But normally, I guess what I associate with him is painting. And I know that he's done a chunk of interiors now, but one, I was really happy to see some interior work from him. But two, this is so stylistically strong, and you know, he's doing like so much, like panel to panel. He's kind of changing styles panel to panel. Like look between 1, 2, and 3. Right. 3 almost has like a Stell Freeze feel to it, or like an Adam Hughes feel to it. And so he like really shifts gears there for that like moment, and then right back to the, you know, kind of like hyperkinetic, like fast moving and looser, more frenetic stuff that I feel like he does more often. But that third panel really like jumps out at you, and I think is so cool, the fact that he just like made that artistic choice to be like, I'm going to do this here.
Yeah, I love it. I love how the little venomy bubbles are kind of carrying us through the entire panel. I love the use of the heavy black lines to separate the panels on this thing. Stylistically, there's just a lot of fun stuff going on. And I mean, that's why I picked it. And then I got your set, and I was like, okay, got to change.
There were 2. I think there were 2, but
I think so too. This one stood out just for a lot of different reasons. And I like the kind of stylistic choice, you know, changes as well. And because this one's kind of flat, it's almost like tiny, you know, it doesn't fit well, but it fits well as the panel, especially after this one here. So yeah, I just thought,
when you look at how like exaggerated the figure is in the top panel, I mean, like, yeah, he's really like shifting gears, and it makes you think that there's like these little different story beats that are happening on the page.
Yeah, definitely. And Matt said that the Gonzalo page was from 1975. So good guess when you said mid 70s. You got it.
The year of my birth.
Well, congrats, George, for this one, man. You got a good one. Gwenum. Didn't know there was a Gwenum. That's because I'm not reading the modern books. But
I was going to say, I'll never read this book, but this is a great page.
Last pick here from you, Kevin Nolan. We picked.
Come on.
I know. I'm gonna use this as a future Dueling Dealers artwork. You know, I mean, it's too nice.
You have to. It's such a perfect pairing. I mean, for me, obviously, but like Nolan has a stamp, right, that he puts on essentially every character that he draws. And that thing image looks so much like the Kevin Nolan thing that I have. And the fact that, like, look at how graphic the thing is, right? There's no little like pebbles going on or anything like that. Like the blacks are just black. Like there's no gradients being used. And then you contrast the Hulk and like, look at the difference in the two surfaces, right? Like, and the Hulk is the same way. Like when you see Kevin Nolan draw the Hulk, you know that that's him doing it. And then you add in that like awesome hand lettered sound effect going through the whole thing. This is just, I mean, this is my bread and butter right here.
I love it too. I mean, I love Kevin's stuff. I think this is fantastic. I mean, because, you know, a lot of times you just get the single character pieces by him, but you get the Thing and the Hulk battling it out, and this is gorgeous. And I like the Thing for the same reasons you did. You know, he's very blocky. You know, like the Ron Wilson era drawings of the Thing. And I think that for me, you know, that's kind of like the period or Buscema's drawing of him too. You know, it's that era that I like more than. I even like it better than, you know, I love Burns' rendition of him, but it just wasn't the same. So this is awesome.
Yeah, I could not like this more.
Yep, exactly. We don't know the answer to that one, Matt. Maybe Chris does. Why does he lose?
So he's more effective at giving people the bird. There's less visual noise when there's just that huge fat middle finger.
That's I can go with that. Yeah, fantastic pick on that one. I did not see that. And who's Gene O? Gene O. I'm not familiar with
Gene. Gene, if you're watching, if you ever, for whatever reason, need to get rid of that, I'm your guy.
Oh, there's a prelim too. I didn't look for that. There. Oh, sweet. Ben's kind of smiling in that one. Yeah, I got him good.
Yep.
It's almost like he's blindfolded with that thing on him right there.
All should be spitting a tooth there. He did the like I was saying, like it's really consistent with the one that I have from him, because that brow is like lidding his eyes like so heavily that you can't even really see him. And I just think it's so cool. I love it.
Oh, I like it a lot too. Well, congrats to again, Gene O. That's been around CAF for a while. I feel like another member. I've not been in their CAF gallery. All right, so let's take a look at what I selected here. Change screens. Man, this old camera of mine is really shitty, isn't it? I'm all washed out and everything.
You look like you're on par with me now. Like I've been debating getting a camera, and I don't know. You guys probably don't want to see that.
Yeah, seeing Chris Snork in 4K.
No.
We get to see.
I'll have my wife have to do like my makeup before I come down.
I don't know. My camera's been acting up of late. It's like it connects to my so this just shows you when you get too high tech, this thing like it's connected for the video to the laptop, but there's also this extra Wi-Fi connection that has something to do with the feed, and it's the Wi-Fi that every once in a while cuts out, because it's got its own built-in Wi-Fi, and because it's a DSLR camera. And when the Wi-Fi cuts out, that's when that happens. It doesn't happen often, but when it does, I think I need a better backup. Anyway, here, let's get my picks up here so we can get through this. So let's see here. First up, Mark Buckingham and Chris K's CAF Gallery. Always, Chris K's got a lot of good artwork. I'm sure many of you already knew that. He's phenomenal collection all around. But you get a Miracle Man page, title page from this one. I just liked it for it's a cityscape, nothing too special. You get the hint of a character in the final panel, but I just thought what a great way to kind of start a comic book. It's narrative, right? And when I looked at this, it made me think. The first thing I thought of was like, I wonder if the writer was in full script or a plot. And Buckingham did this and was when the writer then gets it back. I mean, if it wasn't like full script, he must have been inspired by Buckingham's work, right? Because now you get to do this intro, and you have to follow in the thought process that Buckingham put into the piece. So you know what I mean. I'm just curious about that now, because the writer might have had like a different thought about what they were going to write, and then they see the art, and now they've got to like figure out how to like put this story together to kind
Maybe,
of
yeah.
Anyway,
I don't know if Gaiman writes full script, or I would imagine he does, right?
I would think so. But and Cosmo says it's the complete issue. I didn't even bother to look. I just saw this one piece and thought it was awesome.
Ooh.
But you would think Gaiman would, but still, then it just means that that Buckingham would have to like go. He's the one who's going, working in the other direction, right? He's working from a full script. He's got to follow. He's got to tell a story visually based on all that. So either way that it worked out, it's a beautiful intro to a story.
It is.
And
this is a feat.
I really, really like this a lot. Anyway, so yeah, you won't. I won't gush over a cityscape panel page too often, but I will with this one. Then Frank Miller. I skipped Frank Miller a lot, and but I didn't want to skip this one. I mean, this is just it's from Big Fat Kill. Always a good read. I've reread it a few times. The whole thing, but this is just a great panel. It's everything I think you'd want in a page from the story. Just love his use of the lighting, and especially in that first one, it's like washing out the face, so you almost don't have any real details but it's just enough to give you the hint of that. Last panel is just awesome. I mean, everything about this page is just beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
Yeah, it's perfect, no question. 3 panels. I mean, yeah.
And who was the owner of this one? Justin Porter. Well, Justin, you got a winner there, Justin. I like that one. Next up, Chris Samnee. This is it Casey A's CAF Gallery? It's a variant cover. I wish I could show it all on the screen at one time, but I don't know, just cool composition. I love the X slashing. It was just dynamic. It's almost like he's jumping rope. I thought that was the only weird visual that I got from it, but I just thought it was fun, man. I mean, as a graphic, I think Chris is he's somebody who I always love his ink, his approach to inking, because there's usually a lot of blacks and heavy ink work in it. Just like with this, I don't know, this was just a fun piece, and it's published, which there's so many sketches out there by Chris, so fun to see a Marvel published piece by him on CAF.
I like when artists draw Wolverine as like a little like wad of rage. Like that, like he's all balled up. It kind of reminds me of the do you remember that old Howard Chaykin Wolverine poster that Marvel did, where he was like slashing kind of like backwards or like this way, and there was like blood behind him, but it was like really highly stylized. I think Richard Ory colored it, and it was like teal, and the blood was kind of like, I want to say purplish. And so it was a wild palette, but like that's probably my favorite image of Wolverine. And this, maybe it's the ears on or the cowl or whatever you want to say. This kind of reminded me of that for some reason. It might be the directionality that he did with the slashes, but I don't know. I really like this a lot.
You're making me Google it to remind myself, but I know the piece you're talking about. But yeah, no. Again, I think this is just a fun piece. I love I love it, and yeah. So congrats. I got my like on this one to KCA.
Here's a link to an eBay auction.
I
had this on my wall as a kid, in spite of not being a Wolverine fan. I think I was a Chaykin fan. I won't post. Anyway, but if you Google Chaykin Wolverine poster, you'll see it.
All right. Then this, a Red Sonja artwork. This is in Mickey's CAF Gallery. It's by Aranza Sestayo, and I think I picked something by Aranza before. She's just amazing. I mean, what more? I'm really. It's not a published cover, right? It's just a painting by Aranza. But Nick should be talking to her about doing one. Because it's fantastic. But she's amazing. She does go to IX I think every year. I mean, I met her there a couple years ago, but
such a different take on the character too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, normally I feel like, I don't know, this Red Sonja, I feel like I got a chance. Like I feel like I could kind of mess this one up.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe.
She's got a sword, but I don't know. I like my chances. She looks this Red Sonja looks like she goes about $110.
Yeah, you could take her then.
Okay,
probably. Yeah, Robert says she was supposed to. Yeah, I know she was a guest on the guest list at Lake Como last year, but I know she did not go. But IX is definitely the place where you can see her or meet her during the year. I haven't looked at their guest list currently, but there's a good chance she would be there. Next up, so congrats to Mickey. Mickey's got some diverse taste. It's not just Legion
He's
artwork.
posting some different stuff lately. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he picked up. What did he pick up from Brian? The Red Sonja. We offered a Red Sonja cover on Saturday, and he picked that up. It was nice too. It was. I think we had like 5 Red Sonja covers that Brian sent me, and I kind of thought that one wasn't the most expensive one that I looked at, but I love the image, and Mickey claimed it like as soon as he popped in.
Nice.
So yeah. Then switching gears a little bit here. This is the Tristan piece that I picked. Tim Conrad, right? It's funny, Tim Conrad's somebody that we always forget about, but man, that guy can paint or could paint.
Awesome.
I don't know much. I literally don't know much about Tim, but his artwork was fairly prevalent in the 70s, right? I mean, look at this. You look at this and you think of Corbin, right? I mean, just in the approach to this thing. Look at that. Holy
wow,
mackerel.
so Corbin. Ooh, yeah. Even the rocks are like Corbin-esque.
Yeah, it's crazy. So, doggone it, this thing is. Look at the detail in the grass. I mean, the classic Conrad signature from '84. This is beautiful. All in gray tones, no less. Right? He's
right.
no color to make this thing look as amazing, and that's why you think of Corbin. Corbin could do the same damn thing. Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So I don't know anything about this piece, what it was titled. Let's see, what is it? Brand Mac Warren? I have no idea what that is.
Much lesser known Robert E. Howard character, probably below Solomon Kane, in fact.
Okay. Not familiar at all. Corbin-esque. Yes, even Chuck agrees. So yeah, this is fantastic.
Can you shrink it down again?
Yeah.
What a great composition too. I mean, he's just walled in everything that you want to look at.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, like there's walls on both sides.
It's true. Yeah. No, I mean, when I saw this, I was like, why have I never thought about owning something by Tim Conrad? I mean, his work is just so damn nice, and and I don't know. There probably isn't even a lot of his stuff on CAF. Now it's making me want to even just go look and see what. So 103 pieces of Tim Conrad on CAF. That's crazy.
Well, one of those has got to be for sale, Bill. There's one right there.
There's a portfolio. Hans has a portfolio piece. There's a non-figurative piece by Hans for sale. What else we got? Not a lot. 4 dealer results. Let's look at it that way. Oh, that's right. Mike had that one weird piece from, but still, that's not a whole lot. At the end of the day, there's what the hell is this? Mike's got. Well, I'm just kind of curious. I'm not trying to look at Mike Berkey's site. Okay, not the same kind of quality.
Oh, that's nice though.
But it is. Oh no, it's okay. I'm not knocking it. It is a nice page.
That feels like Sean Phillips a little bit.
Yeah, that there is a bit to that.
Also, I think he's killing Pete Townsend from The Who.
That does kind of.
We can all get behind. I think that's Harry Potter too.
Can we all get behind that? Anyway, $750 on that one. I feel
that's
like Mike
awesome.
It's been on the site for 2 years. He's probably forgotten about it. So stats. There looked like there were some stats on there. There was a couple repeated panels, but yeah. Either way, man, it does make me see a piece like that, and it's like, shoot, I want to own something by Tim Conrad. I mean, yeah.
Oh,
that's
wow,
just so awesome. Look at that. Look at all the detail on this thing.
You're learning me something tonight, Bill. I'm not a Tim Conrad guy, but I guess I am now.
Well,
very cool. Wow, love the lighting in that middle panel on the bottom.
Yeah. No, I mean, all right. So let's try to erase that from everybody's mind so that you and I can be on the lookout.
Let's delete this episode.
Exactly. We're gonna why did Bill only have 9 picks that night?
That was weird.
there was that weird cut in there. I don't know. Anyway, great pickup and awesome Tim Conrad stuff. Now this one's in Mr. Peter Rose CAF gallery. I mean, everybody knows that I've been looking for a Lee Elias war page, right? And then it's so funny when I see even the thumbnails, I know it's Lee Elias.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, look at this. This is great. And then I see, and I'm like, Peter, damn it. Peter, one of these days I'm going to have a Lee Elias war page because that's what I want. I don't want a black cat or anything like that. I want a nice war page. And this, I mean, it's fantastic. I love.
You don't get nicer than this.
Nope, not at all. I'm so jealous of this one. So I know they're out there, and they're not even that costly. It's just great stuff, great artwork, and doggone it. Yeah, this is great. So Peter, congrats. Let's see. Because of significance of real, he picked it up because it has a bit of a real life story penciled in it. So very cool. Gosh, I think I picked. No, I didn't. Anyway, moving right along. Darrow Sweet. This was a book cover, and it's Glenn Crane's. Yeah, Glenn Crane's. I put my thumbs up on this thing using the app, everybody.
Oh, look out. First one.
Just letting you know. I think I placed the first thumbs up from the app, and it was on this piece. From a feed. I was on the new art page scrolling through, and I'm like, that thing looks awesome on my phone. So Darrow Sweet, no longer with us, painted many of the Magic of Xanth covers, just did a lot of work in sci-fi fantasy realm, many covers, highly sought after, cover artist, by collectors in the illustration world. I have a Darrow Sweet prelim on my wall. I mean, he's just it's just like if you collect illustration art, Sweet is somebody you got to have some kind of an example by. And I just thought this was I don't know what the hell's going on here, why these guys are out on the ship. Doesn't matter. I love the color.
You want to know. That's what I was going to say though, is you want to know what's on that line.
Yeah.
Like, is it another guy? Is it some kind of creature that is going to like mulch them? Is it like, are they stuck? But like, you gotta love a cover that like makes you like ask yourself a question. And this for me definitely does. Yeah. I also I can't get over how rich this looks. Like for, a lot of times blues and whites and grays and like whatever, they're tough. They're tough colors to like deal with. And a lot of guys, I think, deal with it by like doing other clever stuff with the palette. Like you get some orange in there and some yellow, which you definitely did. But like the blues and the whites and the grays in here are really rich. I mean, they just come out at you.
I agree. I completely agree. I mean, it's gorgeous. And Glenn Crane, obviously, he's been a collector of illustration art, I think, for more than 30 years. So he's seen a lot, and he sold a lot. They actually had the amazing signature auction of just his stuff 4 or 5 years ago. So he doesn't pick up duds at this stage of his career in art collecting. And this thing is absolutely amazing. So very jealous, but happy to see it. And as playing tug of war, says Marcus. I mean, what is he pulling at? I mean, I have no idea, but it almost looks like he's surfing that thing. So I think it's great. And the helmets are a 2001 style. I mean, that's part of the attraction, I think, and just the spacesuit's cool. It's not some, because their spacesuits can be pretty damn boring. So everything about this is dynamic and fun. 3 more picks to go here. I know I have an extra 4th tab in there, but I know that's not right. So this is it's where we got it's Paper Chaser 1968, and they've been posting a lot of their stuff. We did find out that remember, I think I had said he had accidentally deleted some stuff, and he had actually. He emailed me after last week's show, and so he's reposting a lot of his stuff. So there's a lot of Wrightson Frankenstein pieces that are out there. I mean, we're just in general his sketches like this probably from cons or whatnot. I just thought this thing had a little bit of extra detail in it, even though it's all kind of, but it's all kind of subtle work, right? And the lighting on here, we've seen a lot of his swamp things and things that are done in marker like this. There's just something about this one piece. I mean, the lighting on his face is really well done for something that, you know, wasn't like, you know, done fully traditionally in his studio or something. I just, you know, I'd love to have this piece in my collection. I think it's phenomenal.
I like it when you see a piece like this and like they clearly like they did the little extra, and you always wonder like, well, did they do that because like, well, maybe it was the show was slow, right? Like that's always an option. But did they do it because like they started doing it and then they were like, this is good. I like this. I'm going to keep noodling on this for a while. Or, you know, was he frustrated with it and so he just kept going and going and going? So, you know, there's got to be some rationale or some reason why this has that little bit of extra.
Yeah. Or maybe you knew Paper Chaser, right? Who knows? Either way, there's just a little bit of extra in here I like a lot. So congrats to Paper Chaser on that one. 2 more to go here. Philia. I'm not familiar with it all, but you know, I saw this one and I was like, damn, this is crazy. And I looked and there's no other artwork on the site by Philia. I think they mentioned that the artist
that can't be.
Well, either he spelled it wrong or something is amiss. But I tried searching on the last name Brepukin, you know, and
Philia, and he also has an art alias that he goes by from time to time, but he doesn't do that much anymore. But he's one of Cam's guys, or was. I think he still is.
Well,
but yeah, he's a Darrow inheritor, right?
Yeah, well, that's because I thought it was funny when you picked the Darrow, because I picked this piece and I was like, holy! I mean, look at it. I mean, it's you know, it's all flat. You know, as far as the, you know, it's not like there's tonal work going on here, but it just freaking works so well. I think this was a commission, right? It's got a Lego Spider-Man in here. I didn't notice that the first time I looked at this. It's just amazing, man. Look at all these. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful.
I think I was talking recently about how from time to time you really want to tailor your commission request to like the artist's strengths, whether it's pick a characters or, you know, whatever. And like, this is such a great thing because like it gives him the excuse to draw like 50 different Spider-Man characters on one page. So well requested for sure.
All right. And George Hodge says that he did misspell the name wrong, which is why I couldn't, there was only this one piece. There's an H in it. So that explains why we're missing it. So it was a, what was it? Where were we at? Bratukhin. All right. Well, that makes, then there's bound to be more art. So let's see. Brian Lake, update your spelling on here, my friend, so we can easily get to more artwork by this amazing artist. Last but not least, I know there's 2 tabs. That last one's not a piece of art, but we have a George Perez Red Sonja cover, and I kept kind of coming back to this one. Even I just thought it's just different by George.
It is.
The depth on this piece, like the chains that are up front. The stairway going up. I mean, there's like some crazy Escher stuff going on here, because you see the wrapping around of the stairs above, the archway, the portico, whatever you call it. I mean, and then you throw Red Sonja in there, and the guy she's following, but his like spirit or whatever is coming after her over here. I don't know. This is just a unique piece of Perez artwork. I mean,
this feels a little bit like more like Brian Boland to me.
It's got something different about it.
Yeah.
I mean, but I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I just think it's just amazing. I love the shadow on the central column, right? Just how, you know, reversing the bricks there, and look at just the crazy depth in this piece. I mean, the more I'm looking at it, I want to see this piece in person. I love Perez on so many other, you know, books, and his work on FF or Avengers, whatever. It doesn't matter, you know, even his DC work on Titans and all that kind of stuff. But seeing something like this, little bit of sword and sorcery, and he goes this extra mile, you know, he's like, he's given us his closest version of Gerhardt that he can do.
There you go.
By cramming in the detail in here. I think I love this thing. I think it's awesome. Doggone.
Very cool. I love it.
Whose collection was this? I forgot. Faustus Moonihausen? I don't know. Germany. So the piece is overseas. And what was it? So it was done as a Dynamite cover. That's interesting.
Maybe it was a commission.
Yeah. I'll have to ask Nick about that. I'm kind of curious.
You'll know.
Well, cool.
Yeah, awesome.
Well, we did it, Chris.
Did it a little early.
Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Yeah, like I said, I have a work meeting tomorrow, so I've got a busy day. Going to be driving a bit. I've been putting off calling Albert Moy. He told me I had to call him 2 weeks ago, and I just kept forgetting about it. So I emailed him before the show. I'm like, Albert, I got a 2-hour drive each way tomorrow. Do you want me to call you in the morning or in the afternoon? He said in the afternoon. So I'm going to finally get to talk to Albert. I think I can. I can't 100% confirm it. I'm pretty confident that Albert is going to be going to OAX next year. So that's probably something he wants to talk about. He told me that like a month ago. He's like, I'm going. So I didn't think it would matter if we were on the same weekend as Angoulême or not. But I'm sure we'll be talking about.
Ask him about that Dueling Dealers rematch too.
Last time I told him and I talked to him, he was like he wants to take Berkey down a few notches. So yeah, maybe we'll talk about that too.
We all win when Titans tussle.
That is true. That was one of the I always think back to that. That was the scariest night I probably ever had on this channel. When 450 people were watching at one of my shows live, that was nerve-wracking. I mean, I had to stop, because in my view of the stream, right above me is the counter, and I just remember I had to stop looking at the counter because it just kept making me too nervous. That was like I was like, there's no way that there could be this many people watching me at one time. Anyway, Chris, thank you as always, man.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful weekend. As everybody knows, I do have that Dave Seeley show tomorrow, or not tomorrow. I keep saying tomorrow, Saturday at 2:15. So keep that in mind, 2:15. And but you have a great night. And thanks as always, Chris, for hanging out with me.
Thanks, everybody.
All right, everyone. I'm going to call it a night. As you can see, we've got a crappy camera running for us, so I'll have to fix that before Saturday. But thanks for hanging out with us. It was a fun show, and again, it's always a pleasure getting to hang out with all of you and see your comments in the chat while we're rummaging through the artwork and talking to my guests every week. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. And if you can, tune in on Saturday. I actually spoke with Dave Seeley today. We were going through pricing the artwork that he sent me. Dave's a pretty interesting guy. I'd never spoken with him before. Didn't know a lot about him. He's living in Chicago right now, and he's had a fairly interesting career. And I'm looking forward to chatting with him for all of you. So tune in if you can. And Marcus says I aged a decade with this camera. It's Tim Seeley. Did I say Dave Seeley, Ian? I'm sorry. You know what? Because I got Dave Seeley on my brain because he's in my Infected by Art book, and I've been doing on the side. I've been doing some editing on IBA the past week and a half, and so I keep in my head even switching them around. Tim Seeley is the artist I'm talking to on Saturday. Dave Seeley is more of a sci-fi fantasy artist who is more of a painter, paperback book cover. So Tim Seeley on Saturday at 2:15. All right, everybody, I'm signing off. Enjoy the rest of your evening and your Friday. I'll see you on Saturday. Have a good evening. Take care.